And we are
All
recording.
right. Sweet. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Stoogery experience. I'm one half of this Stoogery journey, Nick, my counterpart of Stoogery, Zach. Zach, how you doing this weekend, pal? What are we doing?
Um, you know, just another day at the office. Another
Okay.
day, just floating through,
Mhm.
uh, living life. I think we should start with, what we got up to this weekend, which was not
Oh,
much. Um,
well, I
kind
mean,
of,
not much
well,
to
a
some
lot,
people,
not a
but a
lot,
lot
but
to
a lot,
us.
a
Yeah.
whole lot. We sat, and no kidding, from let's call it what, noon,
Noon. Yeah, it's a good
noon
point.
until 11.
Yeah, that's
'Cause
that's also
at
a
the
good
end of
time.
the SC game, and we did nothing but drink beer
Lied.
and one buzzball
Lied.
and watch football and eat Wingstop,
Yeah.
and that's it. That was our weekend.
I
So,
mean,
there you
I,
have it.
I couldn't have imagined a better weekend for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just you got a little bit of games going on. You got brews with the boys, and
It's just the
just
perfect weekend with
just
the
vibes.
lads. It really is.
Exactly what it was.
Just, like, no worries, not a care in the world about, like, your ex might have called you back or something, and you're kinda on edge. Nope, you're with the boys, drinking, watching ball.
Yeah,
What's
and
better than
and
that?
I mean, we had the secret weapon too. We had some Zimbabwe's just in
We
case we
had some
needed to get a
Zin.
little
I personally
crazy.
did not partake in the Zins. Last time I had a Zin, I almost vomited in the bathroom of SoFi Stadium. So, you
Okay.
know, maybe that's a story for today, maybe that's a story for another day. Um, who knows, but it was,
Okay.
yeah, that was a night to remember, I'll tell you.
I mean, man, it was a wonderful weekend, but I'd be pissed off at myself if I didn't at least talk about it. And it was a couple weeks ago, but that UFC main event
Yeah,
with Sean
Jesus
Strickland and
Christ,
Israel Adesanya. I mean,
not good.
look, I understand a win's a win, and I
Take it away.
understand, you're fighting to, not die in the octagon essentially,
Mhm.
unless you're a style bender because he's said, I'm ready to die.
Yeah.
So unless you're him, like you try to keep yourself safe. But you know, I started watching the show or the fight, I guess, in the second round because I was went to a comedy show that hour before with Michael
Mhm.
Rappaport, who is just a big old scumbag.
Big
Just
old
love him.
white scumbag. Yep,
Just a white bastard.
as you do.
Loved it. Loved every second of it. I get back, I pop a beer open, I turn this fight on. Man, what do I see? I just see little 1-2s and like they're not even landing the 1-2. Like dipping, dodging, diving. Like it looked like we were in dodgeball. They were doing the 5Ds of dodgeball. And
Yeah.
I just and it was a title fight though. It wasn't just like if
It
it
was
was the
for all the
undercard,
marbles here.
yeah. And I
Like,
I got pissed because what am I paying for if I just got, a little dinking around, dinking and dunking? Like, I want to see some guys
throwing down.
throwing down. Like,
Which
I
is
need to
which is
see
odd because
gladiators.
that's what Adesanya was known for, striking.
Yeah,
And then I watched 0 minutes of this fight.
you save time.
But from what I saw on Twitter, or I guess X, I don't know about
Whoa,
that. I guess we call it X now.
that sucked.
Throw up your X. Shout out Des Bryant.
Idiot.
Basically felt like I watched the fight from what I saw. It was just like nothing. 0 things. Strickland kinda at least throwing punches at somebody's head, knocked him down that
Yeah.
one time or buzzed him, whatever that was. But yeah,
See,
I mean,
I think the
not
worst
much you
part
can say.
about it was that the highlight of the fight was everyone posting the fact that Strickland, in his press conference before the fight, talked about how he jerked off 4 times a day during camp.
Yeah, what's up with it? And then what's up with everybody in this ritual they got going on? Tyson Fury, same thing when he did the
Yeah,
GQ interview, and then he was just on Sundays, whatever it's called, with
yeah.
Caleb Presley, and he was talking about, hey, you still doing that? He was like, yep, every day. Like
I think he said 7 times a day too, which
seven,
that's part of his
seven,
training.
7 doesn't even compute for me. Like
How do you have that much
7,
time? Like, what else?
I don't
What do
know.
you?
Like
How many showers
7.
is he taking? Is the big question.
I
Like, what
don't know. Like,
is he on the bus and
do
just all of a
you have
sudden?
the time? Like, is it getting like? Say you have like, is he doing it in between rounds? Like he does like 3 rounds of sparring, and he's like, hold on, guys,
I
I
gotta.
gotta go. I'll be back in a minute. And then I'll be back. And then when he's coming back, the guy who's in the ring was like, I don't want to.
Did you wash
Did
your
you
hands
wash
at
your
least?
hand? Yeah.
Like,
Like,
yeah.
what's going on here, dude? Like, this isn't. But maybe it
I
works.
mean,
I mean, he's a champ. I
yeah, I
guess,
mean,
but he probably could just be the champ without that. I don't think he has to do all of this every time. Doesn't make sense.
it's one of those rituals where I sat down and I listened to the same interview you're talking about, and I was just trying to compute like what advantage do you have at that? Like I don't understand what that would do for
From what
you.
I've heard,
Yeah,
okay, from my sources in
source
the,
says.
medical world, it's supposed to, like, help regulate your testosterone to, like,
Mhm.
give you an influx of T.
Oh,
That's the thought.
okay.
I don't know if that is, like, if we have to do 7.
Yeah, I was gonna say 7 might be like we're getting hit
Like,
with adrenaline 7
I've heard
times.
of people, like, what's it called? I'm missing the word, where you don't have
Oh, yeah,
sex, you don't do anything, and you build it up, and then you go
abstinence.
compete. Yeah, you do, but there's, like, a specific medical,
Yeah,
like,
it's,
term, and you don't do anything. It's like what Rocky says, "Stay off the
weak of the
legs."
legs,
Yeah, like, the
girls weak of
legs,
legs.
whatever. I don't know if that's real. Apparently not, because
I
we got the
think
heavyweight champ just, doing the business 7 times a day.
Hey,
So,
he's the champ in everything he does apparently.
I tend to
He's
lean with Rocky on most
done.
things, but he might have you beat here, Sly. He might have
Yeah,
you.
and you know what, just thinking about those trilogies, we all love Rocky, American classic,
Nothing
wonderful
better.
things. But every single time I watch those fights, you watch the first movie and you're like, "Okay, I understand he's coming out. He doesn't know how to play defense. Okay, he's
No.
gonna get jabbed a lot." Second movie, jabbed a lot first round.
Yeah.
Third movie, we're world champ now, right? We just beat
Yeah.
Apollo Creed. We're in the prime of our career. Got no goddamn defense.
Same
I
shit.
mean,
He
just
got it a little bit. In the 3rd one, he went and worked with,
a little bit.
he went to Cali. He was down there in South Central, hooking up with all the homies,
Yep.
doing the little, quick feet, and, there is no tomorrow. Got guys yelling at him, and then he somehow,
The
what
beach run.
actually pissed me off about that movie?
What?
There is no way that Sylvester Stallone is beating Carl Weathers in a race of any distance
Why do you say
at
that?
all, and there isn't a chance that Italian dude in the movie, okay, Sly Stallone
Hmm.
plays Rocky, Italian dude from Philly is beating an African American male from California. Not a chance. I
Okay.
don't care if you trained for doesn't matter. They trained for, like, a month, and then he
Yeah.
went from, like, getting dusted to, like, "Oh, yeah, easy win." Like, it wasn't even like I was like, "Wait a second. This guy, he should be an Olympic sprinter at this point."
What if that more so showed that Apollo lost his edge instead of Rocky getting faster? Like
Maybe,
Apollo, like
or
what if he
this
tore
is
his
my
ACL and we
thing,
just don't know?
this is my thing that, like, on the rumor mill, I think he let
Okay.
him win to make him
Okay, just to
feel
give him that
like,
little
okay,
little
because he
dope,
definitely did improve, but I bet you, like, Apollo was like, "Okay, it doesn't matter how
still dusting
fast
him.
this dude gets, he's as heavy as a rock, and he's not limber. He ain't beating me in a race. Okay,
Well,
there's
I
no
mean,
way."
to be fair, Rocky's
How can Apollo go back in the gym
yeah.
to his boys, and they're like, "Hey, how'd the training go on the beach?" He beat me in a race." What?
Don't you have the quick
This guy
feet?
beat
You're the
you?
champ. Like, what are
This
we?
guy beat you in a race? The slow Italian dude? Are you kidding me? You're not allowed in here anymore. Go home, son, you old
Philly
man.
Flyers, man.
There's no way.
I didn't think about that. I more so just thought about in that third movie, man. You look over at Clubber Lang and you're like, okay, he's throwing some hooks.
Yeah,
And I know he doesn't have a glass chin, but I don't care who you are. If you're taking like
it's a tough one.
10 hooks back to back to back right on the button,
Yeah, you're probably
you're
going
going
down.
down.
But hey,
He
that's
didn't.
Rocky.
So,
That's Rocky.
that's maybe
I said I
that's
had a
the difference.
tiger. I said I had a tiger.
It's
I
an
think we
Italian
should
stallion.
we gave the people the name, but I feel like we would do a disservice if we didn't at least try to explain what a stooge is.
That is a great point, man.
Because the people are like, okay, the stooge experience. What is a stooge? I don't know. But like you wanna give them a little like
I
give them a
mean,
little not you don't
a
have to
little nugget,
Merriam-Webster's dictionary 'em, but
a little
give them a
Spark
little
Notes
something.
version, a little
Yeah.
something, a
What
little
is a
substance.
stooge? What is a stooge to you? And then you write an essay about it for class,
I feel like I did this in college once, so I think I can
potentially.
kind of, BS my way through it. But I would say, man, a stooge is just somebody. I mean, first of all, you just don't give a shit. Like, I mean, look at how we're dressed. Like, I got the Rams, repping the Rams. Shout out the boys.
Oh,
You know.
I just flashed Nike. Don't sue me.
Oh, don't
SC.
don't
We're
sue
good.
us.
I'm allowed to put this on.
Hey, that's a world champ right there. Okay,
Graduate, baby. Come on
you
now.
can show the fly
Give
a
some
little bit.
respect.
But I would say, Stooge, you just don't give a shit. You're super focused on sports, video games. You just kind of walk your own path, and you also have. I'd say what really defines a Stooge is you have a certain time of the day where everyone's brain is like a little hamster running on the wheel.
Yeah.
Well, a Stooge's hamster kind of gets off at 5 o'clock, goes down to the local pub, hammers a couple beers wide,
What?
and then comes back and just sits down on the couch. So the brain is just asleep, and you're just locked on whatever you're doing.
I think a stooge is also somebody that isn't afraid to, this is getting deep. Look like an idiot sometimes,
It's gonna
and
happen.
can be self-reflective of, yeah, like we're gonna talk a lot of football on this show. We'll talk some gaming. We'll maybe talk movie talk, like we just went into a 10-minute spiel about Rocky, like for no reason.
And that'll
But
happen
that
again.
doesn't mean we know, okay? If a movie critic comes on here and says, "You guys are dead wrong," I know, dude. Okay,
I'm
chill out.
aware.
Like we're your average guy. I think a stooge is an average, just
An average
just your
Joe,
normal, just a
perhaps.
normal guy, and we we have the luxury of we know a little bit about ball, so that
A little
does
bit.
help a little bit. But it's not like I'm in there and I'm not watching film.
Well, I'd
Like
say we know something if it's football related.
if it's football related, we do know. But like I stopped playing my freshman year of high school. You played a little more,
I
but
did play a couple of years in college, so we
it's
we have
not
a
like
little bit of
we
credibility, but
know.
we're not. Look, we're
But
not
it, but
Dan
if
Orlovsky. I can't say like I played in the NFL. I know all the
don't
schemes.
expect us to pull up the all
No,
22 and really do a deep dive.
yeah,
Okay,
we're not
we'll
going to
give
break
you
down
some
60 minutes
baseline,
of game film. Like
but I
that's
tell
not
you one
happening.
thing: we'll be consistent with our stoogery. All right, especially whenever we get to sneak peek of our little top 10. It's consistency. Okay, you're not gonna just like one week someone's here, like nah. There's a method to the madness. It's pretty mad a lot of the time, but
And I
you
think
might
as
have
Stooges
might have some
too,
methods.
we'll fall on our sword too. Like if we're
Oh
dead
yeah,
wrong, oh, we're
oh yeah.
gonna we'll put the hand up.
If, if
It's
I'm
like
a
it's
if
like when
I'm
you're
a
playing
big
basketball
dumb
and you
if
foul
I'm a
somebody.
big
You know
dumb
what I mean?
dipshit, then I'm an idiot.
Hey, it
I
happens. Sorry.
every day. Every
Yeah.
day it happens. Sometimes I'll say something like, "Well, yeah, that wasn't correct. Just messed that one up."
But hey, we keep it moving. That's
Yeah.
it.
So
That moment's gone.
yeah. So we'll in this we'll talk football, gaming, movies, anything that's happening. In the world. Any funny clips. Any like I saw this Instagram reel. Pull it up, and we're about to react to it. What's going on in the world? Okay.
Basically, what we're gonna give you the Stooge experience as far as that 5 o'clock hour I said where your brain goes to sleep.
Yeah.
This podcast is the opportunity to get some great laughs,
Yeah.
turn your brain off, chill
When
down with a beer, a little
Yeah,
beverage,
when you're
and just
chilling
kick
or
back.
you're playing FIFA, you're playing a
Yep.
game, you're just chilling, eating dinner, just put it on your second monitor screen if you have it. Throw it on your phone. You don't have to even look at us. You
No,
can listen, you could do whatever you want, but just like, "Oh, yeah, that was pretty funny. Oh, what's their top 10? Oh, cool." Then eventually, then we'll reel you in eventually. And then you're in for
just
life.
fish out there.
Oh, when the fish is
Yeah.
out there, you're gonna see these
Bring
sweet
'em in.
graphics we made that we took,
Oh,
maybe like a week
so
doing.
sweet.
I'm just
So sweet.
so sweet, so very, very cool, very cool. All right, where
Oh
do
man.
where do we wanna go first?
I
Do we
mean, I
wanna do we
think
wanna do like a mini I mean, we watched every football game this weekend, so
we
we could
did.
do a
So we could
mini
give a little
just,
recap.
just your thoughts on, we can do college first, that was on Saturday. Lots of big games. We had a
Yeah,
huge
I
a
would
huge
definitely
slate of
say so.
games.
I mean, I think the big game that we'll just start with is the one in the morning, which was that Clemson Florida State. And
Mhm.
I got to tell you,
Yep.
I'm not buying on this Florida State team. Okay, Clemson is
Uh,
not the same Clemson.
I
I
agree
mean, I
with you.
know people are going to be upset. First of all, Florida State's un-American. All right, let's just start right there. Just un-American program. Can't
Yeah.
have it. Won't
I
have it.
mean,
I
anybody
won't
that's
support it.
doing anything like
Yeah,
this
I can't have. It
still
looks a little similar
and
to
I'm looking at you too, Kansas City, okay? Don't think you're getting the pass too. We're still doing the Chiefs
Hey,
tomahawk
don't piss
thing.
off the Swifties. Okay, that's
Yeah, I know,
it's
jeez.
not all
I'm
right. It's
sorry. I
just
didn't mean it.
jeez.
I didn't mean it. My
Jeez
hands are up.
Louise, day one, and we're
It
just
wasn't
already
me.
pissing
It
people
was
off.
somebody else. Someone who's back there saying random
God
stuff.
damn it. Man,
Yeah.
I'm just watching the game and I'm just looking over. I mean, you
Yeah.
got Florida State. They got a lot of talent on offense. I'll give them that. You know,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not
I'm
sold on
I'm gonna
on
pull up
Travis.
the box
Yeah, let's
score kinda here.
so I
Just
don't sound too much like a dipshit.
I'll just reel it off. We don't even have to pull it up because we'll go through a few of the games. But I know, I do know Clemson outgained Florida State by over 100 yards.
That right
which,
there
like,
leads me to
you have
questions
a
of
you have
this.
a strip sack on a blown protection for a
Yeah.
touchdown. You have a first time, not first time kicker, but they had a new kicker.
Yeah, the rookie,
Um,
right? It was like a
well,
walk-on
basically,
freshman or
this
something?
story was so he had been at school, but and had kicked, I think, for Clemson. I don't know. He somehow people on the team knew who he was already, but he was
Okay.
doing a master's program or a graduate program, something. I don't know if it was a
Mhm.
doctor. He was doing something, and they were looking for a kicker. So one of the kids on the team went to Dabo and was like, "Hey, this person is still enrolled
No
in
way.
school, like, have him come out and just, like, do some kicks." So he came out, went 7 for 8, and they said, "Yeah, you'll kick." But the kid was like, "Well, I'm supposed to go start this job in 2 weeks. Like, can I do it?" And they're like, "I don't know, call your job and find out." So he calls his boss, and he's like, "Hey, like, they need me to kick. Can I just kick for the end of the year and then I can come work for you guys?" And the boss was like, "Hell yeah, like, that's so dope." So the boss was actually he was like, "Yeah, kick, and I'm gonna come to the game." So the boss was there, but not Cinderella story. He missed a 29-yard field goal to probably win it.
And
Florida
that was
State
a
did end up going down, and um,
Florida State was top 4, right?
in the AP, they're 4th. And
Okay.
and when the people see,
Oh, yeah, yeah, well, we can't give
the
that away
rankings that
too
we put
early, you
together,
know?
let's just say they might not be 4th. Okay.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay. Keep my eye
Clemson was
out.
over 10 minutes more time of possession. Like, they kind of dominated this game. Florida State only had 22 rushing yards.
I mean,
22. Like,
it's not
for
gonna
a
get it done.
high-powered program with apparently all these recruits, whatever, 22 rushing yards. I guess Clemson's defense, all right, but I saw Duke put up numbers against Clemson week 1, so there's kinda that. But
Which
yeah,
brings that big matchup too for this next week. You got Florida State and Duke.
Duke
So
is at
that's
home against Notre Dame, so that's gonna be
so I am a Stooge on it. Okay.
I
That's
think
first Stooge right there, ladies and gentlemen.
so. Wait, who is Florida State playing?
You're right, it is Notre Dame.
I think Florida State has a bye. But yes, Duke is
Okay.
playing, yeah, Duke Notre Dame, that'll be good. I mean, we don't have to roll right into that game, but there were some other, like, games earlier. The 12 o'clock games were pretty. I mean, everybody's attention was on Oregon, Colorado, right?
Had to
That's
be.
what and let's just say that disappointed, okay?
Man.
That was I'm not gonna say I saw it coming. I figured Oregon would win and win relatively comfortably. Did not expect, Colorado to not score a point till literally the end of the game.
So, I saw all the press from Colorado, poor old us, why are you mad at us, this and that. And I'm not gonna lie, at first I kind of bought it and said,
Yeah.
I loved the speech that Oregon had, they're fighting for clicks, we're fighting for wins. I mean, I was ready to run through a brick wall when I heard
I'm
that.
out, I'm ready.
And
Yeah.
then, I saw all the receipts coming up about, Deion's son telling Oregon players, I'm gonna run through you, I'm gonna beat your, you know. And then
Yeah.
lo and behold, he actually ended up in the hospital with a lacerated kidney because somebody
Yeah.
hit him so hard that
Yeah.
he was pissing blood.
Yep.
So, all respect to the Colorado program and Dion, they're going to build something great. But
Yep.
I mean, it's hard to not,
Not yet.
look for you to get your ass whooped when you're
It's how it
talking
goes,
trash
and
like that.
to be
And
fair to
then,
Dion, he came out and he said, "Hey, we got our ass kicked."
yeah,
That's pretty much what he said,
we did.
and good on him for just, like, kinda telling it how it is. Like, yeah, it's how it happens. They have a tough bounce back game. They're gonna have to now play USC, who's got a better offense than Oregon and has a better,
Quarterback for sure.
well, definitely that, but a better D line than even Oregon does. If you look at
Hey,
the stats, I'm not a big stats guy, but I do know one thing, that non-blitzing situations, USC has the number 1 pressure rate in all of the country. So that's when 4
man,
down linemen getting after it, they have the highest pressure rate, which is, if Shedeur was getting if Rolly on my wrist was getting just slammed out there
a
by
little.
Oregon, then I don't know what Air Alexander and USC are gonna do. It could get ugly, but USC has been known to troll, so I
Man,
wouldn't
we
be
watched it this
surprised.
weekend.
Just get a couple missed tackles and you're home free.
Man, you're not joking. I will tell you this, after just watching, and for the viewers that don't know, which they definitely don't know, I played quarterback when I was playing football. So I know just a smidge about what you're supposed to do when you're in the pocket. And there were many times Shadur just didn't step up in the pocket out of a sack. So instead
We
of
said it multiple times while we
oh
were
yeah,
watching, and if we're saying that, brother,
somebody
brother,
on the headset's got a key down and like, hey,
somebody's
like
gotta know. If
let's
I know to do that, then come on now, buddy. We gotta try at least try to step up, do
yeah.
something,
I'm
which
not saying that
is
the rush wouldn't get him, but he'd have at least an extra like half
but
second.
it is what separates what I've seen. Then we go to the USC game. I know we're kinda skipping to, like, the last game of the night, but that you'll never see Caleb back up into a sack. He is gonna
No,
step up and out, up right, up left, and then when they do when the DNs do try to get down the field and then loop back in, he'll see it and then he'll back up and go out. Like he's very aware of where to be, which is something that Shedeur doesn't really have. It's even something that Penix at Washington doesn't have.
yeah,
Um, he's been given a lot of time to throw that, and he just throws ropes, so it kind of
hey,
helps. But there's no one who has the pocket presence
like
of
Caleb,
Caleb,
no,
that's for sure. So, and that's kind of what I think will lead to USC being in more games
yeah,
than even maybe Washington at the end when they have to face D lines like Michigan and Georgia and even Ohio State, even a Notre Dame has a decent D line. Like when you're in that first playoff game, you have to
yeah,
navigate the rush and give yourself a little extra time to get it to your playmakers. So I think USC could bode well, a little better than especially Colorado, but even teams like Oregon. Bo Nix is all right, but he's
he's
I'd say
solid.
he's better than all right. I'd say he's good.
Yeah.
And then even Penix, like Caleb's much more mobile than those two.
Well, and I think it's also good to kind of highlight the fact that I don't know if you agree with this, Zach, but I think Caleb Williams is probably the greatest quarterback I've ever seen in college. Like I've never seen a guy with more
I've watched
mobility,
that
more
guy
accuracy.
live,
Like,
and I don't know if I've
yeah.
seen a better player live. Me and you
Oh,
back in the day, we watched Mariota live at
yep.
Oregon. Very good. I've seen who else have I seen live?
Well, you've seen
Um,
Slovis, but you know,
I've seen Carson Wentz live, prime Carson Wentz on the
so not
Eagles.
not the double
MVP.
knee.
No, no. This is
Okay.
pre-knee. Like I've seen some decent quarterbacks and I've seen nothing. Like I watch this guy play and it's crazy. Like I don't even know. The only way I can explain it is like watching Mahomes. But he is even more mobile. Like that's the crazy part. Like
Yeah.
he can run a little bit more. And yeah,
There you have it. I mean, the
there
eyes
you
don't
go.
lie.
Yeah. What other
What
games?
other
There
game
was
we got,
a
man?
at that noon slate, there was the Utah UCLA. I think Utah's good. I don't really know what to do with them until Rising is back. I think they
Yeah.
have a good defense. Then again, they were playing a true freshman making a huge road start, so who threw a pick six first play, and then really
Yeah.
not much happened after that game. Like the Utah offense could only muster up 7 points in literally 4 quarters.
Yeah.
So I think they are good. I still think UCLA is pretty good. The fact that they could hang
Stay in
around
that game.
on the road, yeah, I think they're good. So them dropping out of the AP poll, that I didn't really like that, but it just goes to show you the poll will try and overvalue Big Ten and SEC and undervalue Pac-12 at any chance they get.
Yeah. And that's a good point to bring up the fact that that's why the teams from the Pac-12 are going to the Big Ten, the
Yep,
ACC, because it's
they
like
got to
okay,
get
well,
involved.
yeah, we got to get in the mix.
Yeah,
I mean, I think the next game to look at is definitely Alabama, Ole Miss.
yeah, that was
It,
another noon. That was the other. That was like the third game, right? It was
yeah,
that game. It was the Oregon game, and it was the UCLA Utah game.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We had both. We had I mean, initially we had Colorado and Oregon on the big screen, but
And then
then
that thing
Colorado got
that
relegated.
got demoted real quick. We started
Yeah,
watching Twitch at one point. It was getting bad out
we
there.
did. We did. We tuned into the what was it? The throwback tournament for Optic
Yeah,
Gaming.
the Optic Throwback tournament. That's how
And
bad
what
it was
what they were
getting.
playing NFL Blitz,
They were
which
playing
in
Blitz. I
2007,
was like,
Eagles
okay,
versus Eagles. So now,
yeah,
as an
we can
Eagles fan, I think we talked about this, Zach. There's no winning that, right?
no
Because
winning.
the
You either lose,
Eagles win
you
and the Eagles
it's
lose.
just you might as well not even have played the game.
Wow.
Yeah,
But that's how
yeah.
bored we got about it. It
That's
just
how
couldn't
bad
do it.
that's how
That
bad it
was a
got.
beatdown.
The Bama game was fun. I mean, it was I knew that Bama would like they're gonna bounce back. It's Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin, bro. They're not beating Bama. He does his little tweets. the whole thing, like, and then they always lose every time.
I mean, and we kind of got the playbook pretty well for Alabama. Their quarterback, he's either Jalen Milrose. He's either dropping back and throwing it deep,
We were
or
saying
he's
it
running the
all.
ball.
Said
That's it,
either
and it
I
works.
literally every time Milrow get the ball, and he took more than 2 seconds, and I knew he wasn't running, I would just say, "Just throw it deep, bro." Once he has to do like, "All right, I'm gonna throw it 15 yard," done, bro. Getting picked, incomplete, something bad. When he throws it deep, he throws a nice deep ball. It's pretty good. If they had like Devontae Smith, Waddle, Jamison Williams back in the day, I think they'd actually be very good because they'd be stretching
Yeah,
the field, and I think it'd really help them. They just don't really have a guy or
speedsters like
that
that.
can really stretch the field, which is unfortunate. But he should have been the quarterback the whole time. The fact that they benched him after the Texas game, stupid. Like he played bad,
Yeah,
sure, but you were gonna put your hopes in a Notre Dame transfer, brother.
man.
Anything Notre Dame transfer related, get me out unless you're giving me an O lineman.
Or Mateteo.
Or Teo, but he's Notre Damer for life. There's no way that guy would have left.
True,
It's
true.
like, yeah. Shout out
Another
Jackson
good game,
Darso,
man.
USC legend.
He made some good plays, but he made one pick where, I mean, it's his only pick of the game, but you just look at it and you're, what are you doing?
Yeah,
I mean,
dumb.
we tried to fit the ball into triple coverage, and I just don't get it. The next game is obvious, Oregon State, Washington State. That was a great game.
Low key, I mean, I'd give Ohio State Notre Dame the nod of
Yeah.
game of the weekend, but this was a sneaky. I knew it was going to be a good game. The final score a little bit closer than the game ended up being. Washington State kind of controlled it. I'm gonna just pull up the play-by-play because I'm pretty sure in the fourth, Washington State was up 18 points at like kind of
Yeah,
midway
they
through the
started
fourth.
trolling a lot.
So it was it was with 5 minutes left. Yeah, kind of midway through. Um, yeah, 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It's 38-21, up by 17. So like
Not looking
not
good.
over, but like
It's
getting there. And
close.
then it was a touchdown, turnover on downs, touchdown, and then kind of that always late touchdown to like hope we get an onside kick. Don't get it, game over. Like a little bit
Yeah.
closer than the score said, but fun game. I'm loving these Pac-12 games. I really am.
Yeah, they're always going for something good. I will say I was impressed that Oregon State had 21 points in the fourth quarter. That's
Yeah.
something to build off
They
of
they
right
they
there.
at least tried to get back into it, which was nice. And it's good because they're leading into a Friday game. Um Eventually we'll kind of look ahead to the games we have coming up, but Friday night game going to be at home in Corvallis against Utah coming to town. Going to
It'll be a
be
good
a
one.
very very good game. So it kind of ended on a little bit of a spurt, and they're going to need to have an offensive spurt because that Utah defense is looking really really
Pretty
good.
good.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
pretty nice. Not too bad at all.
But
Yeah.
just there. I'm thinking they're
I'm
decent.
thinking they're pretty good. I'm thinking those guys get them a quarterback.
Yeah. He's in concussion protocol. I think last I heard he was in concussion protocol, but he's got a torn ACL and he's
I'm pretty
tweeting,
sure
and
it's
I
his
don't know what's going
ACL
on,
because I
man.
remember in the offseason somebody tweeted like a leak or whatever. Doesn't seem like Cam Rising's ACL recovery is going according to plan. He probably won't be ready for the first game. And then he responded. I remember this. He
Hmm.
responded saying, "Not sure where you're getting your sources from. Recovery is going great." So I was like, "Okay." I don't have zero receipts. I have no
Hmm.
evidence besides I'm pretty sure I remember this. Okay? That's
Okay.
all you're getting from me.
That's your source says.
And I'm pretty good to like remember stuff like this. I know that definitely someone came out and said, "Hey, like don't think his recovery has been going as quickly as they want." And then he came out and just said, "No, that's not true, like fake news or whatever."
Well,
But
he's
he
not back
hasn't played
yet,
for
so
4 games. So
yeah, it's
what
not
gives,
going
buddy?
well. Yeah,
Or it could be going well and like he was
they
never
don't need
going
him
to
yet.
be back. Like maybe he just was going to be back in the middle of the season.
Play a little
And Utah
poker.
people were even saying like, "Oh no, he'll be back week 1 to try and throw teams off to like maybe prepare for him when he's not playing." Like, you know how all those games get played.
Yeah, of course. I think we'd be remiss if we didn't look at the game of the week, that Ohio State Notre
Yeah.
Dame.
Mhm.
I don't know about you. I think that was the best game of the weekend. It was a
It
defensive
was.
showdown, but it was great.
It was good, and I don't even mind defensive showdowns. Like when I like defensive showdowns when it's good defense and not necessarily bad
Bad
offense.
offense, yeah.
When it's
No
bad
different.
offense, when I'm watching Iowa, okay, all right, I'm not with it.
Shout out Hawkeyes, yeah.
Yeah, shout out getting 31 skunked by Penn State.
Man,
Jeez. My boy's he's gonna have to fire his son. He's
yeah.
gonna have to fire his son. He's got to hit the 25 points per game quota. He's not gonna do it. A zero. You know how I was in some decent math classes, AP Calc, senior year, so get with me. But you add a zero into the average. Whoa,
Not
we are
looking
tanking.
it's not looking too
That's
good.
bringing the whole thing down. But
Start
yeah,
looking for another job.
back to Ohio State Notre Dame. It was just good physical football.
Yeah.
You know, as my freshman year uh, defensive coordinator would say, it's the three F's of football: fast, physical, football. And we kind of looked at him like, one of those is just football, and then you said physical, which is a PH.
Yeah.
Fast, okay, I'm
Fast. Okay,
there.
so we
But
got we
yeah,
got
he said
2.
it's the three F's of football: fast, physical, football. And I was like, yeah, I'm in. Two of those are probably not gonna really work because football is what the game we play. We have to play it, and then physical is a PH. But that's what
Yep.
I saw out there. It's still stuck with me to this day.
Yeah.
You know,
Hey, the message was received.
the
I mean,
message was received. That was 10 years ago, and I'm still thinking about it to this day.
that's powerful right there. But
I
we
know.
do have to question, do we have a little CTE going on? A little. I
Yeah,
mean, when you play ball, back, especially back in that day, you're
they
hitting people with the crown of the helmet.
could have
As
been one of the reasons why we went 2-8, but
okay,
you know,
yeah,
we tried our
yeah,
best. We were just 13, 14-year-old kids trying.
yeah, and that's all you can ask.
All you can do at some point.
Yeah, man. And then we could just. I mean, it's tough to say whether Ohio State is better than Notre Dame at this point because they did get the win,
hmm
but you can't have it to where you get the ball. I mean, McCord did a great job on that last drive on that 3rd and 8,
He took the
gets a
throws he needed
completion.
to. Yep.
Yeah, just made the plays he needed to, and then you get down to about the 2-yard line. But when we have a timeout, we cannot come out of the huddle with 10 guys on 2 plays consecutively. Like, that can't
Yeah,
happen.
and yeah,
It just
we could
can't.
almost pull it up now.
You, you
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 know,
think you think it's
I
time to
mean,
just
we're here, we're talking about the game. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, we introduce a segment, whenever we do this show will be kind of weekly.
Yep.
It's Stooge of the week. Okay? Stooge of the week. Who was the big dumb idiot of the week? And we're talking Ohio State, Notre Dame. And now there were a lot of candidates from this
Oh, yeah.
whole shebang. You got Lou Holtz. You got Ty Schmidt as Lou Holtz. You
Yeah.
got Ryan Day spazzing out on a 95-year-old man, or however old Lou Holtz is. That was a little bit
89, I
odd.
think. 89.
89. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Show some goddamn
95
respect.
sounds cooler, but
Yeah, it
whatever.
kinda does.
But eventually, it was hard for us not to land on this guy right
Jeez.
here, Marcus Freeman.
You
It's
know, we
just I just don't know how you can cut, like you said, out of a timeout. So the picture that we have up here, obviously, the trophy is his, Stooge of the week. There we
oh,
go.
yeah. He earned it.
This is the second play where they had 10 minutes, because this is the last play of the game. The play before, they actually got a stop.
Yeah, they did with 10
And
guys, which is
with
crazy.
10 guys, which
That's
they did throw a pass. I don't know if they would have just saw, hey, this D lineman's not here. Let's just run it instead of throwing an out route. Maybe it works.
yeah.
But out of a timeout, brother. And then to add on to it, the interview that he gave where he was like, hey, we knew, but we didn't want to run a guy out on the field because we didn't want a penalty.
I mean,
Okay, tell me if I'm wrong. Say you get a penalty and it's offsides. There's 3 seconds left, buddy. It's just half the distance, and we just run the play. I'd rather take the half the distance. I'd rather the guy that's running on the field tackle the wide receiver
yeah.
and say, "Hey, I'm offsides, man. Like, throw the flag." We get our 11th guy on there. They're at the half-yard line now. Who cares? And we just run this and we just square up. But instead, like, he didn't want to get a penalty. That almost led me for us to make this guy the Stooge week, because that didn't even make any sense either.
No, I think when you look at, the honorable mentions of Ryan Day, we just talked about, like, I mean, it's not a good look to go off on an 89-year-old
Mm-mm.
man who has said he's got dementia, so he doesn't
Yeah,
even remember what he says. But
yeah,
you're gonna tell him
yeah,
quite literally, "I'm gonna throw fisticuffs with you because I'm from
yeah.
Ohio," which okay, great.
So that's honorable
Then
mention worthy right there.
oh,
Like,
he earned the honorable mention, and then you look
definitely.
over our other honorable mention who made the board, Josh McDaniels. I
Uh,
mean, look,
this is
man,
just football situational stuff, but like, here's a thought: we're down 8, and we haven't really gotten the red zone too much.
let's
Let's
try
kick
to
a field goal
let's try.
to go down 5, where then we still have to score again. We still have to get the same touch. Like, if you were to kick a field goal and then you're down by 2 or 3, and then you could kick another field goal, okay, I got you. Maybe I got you. But
We're down by 5
you're
at that point.
down 8 to go kick a field goal to go down 5, and then you still have to get the same stop. Now it's a more difficult stop because they get the ball.
Yeah,
They would have gotten it if you went for it. They're on the 8 or 9 yard line,
yeah, it's an easier
and
stop for your team.
yeah,
Yeah,
there's only so much that they're going to run. The field's a little shorter, and if you stop them, you're going to get the ball now at like probably the 50 or your own 40 instead of having to
yeah.
drive 75 yards to try and score a touchdown. Just did not make sense.
No, and then I think it also like he's an offensive minded coach, but to see the weapons he has, you got Josh Jacobs, you got Devontae Adams, and you
Yep, the
just
goat, Hunter
can't.
Renfro.
You got shout out Hunter Renfro. He ruined your night back at that national championship
Yeah,
game.
let's not even go there.
He had you listening to Marvin's Room the whole way home.
It's a tough night.
Uh, but you got all these different weapons, and you're telling me we can't muster up an offense. Like we just can't. I get it. Look, I will never tell you Jimmy G is your franchise quarterback. Okay,
Ever.
he's porn star Jimmy. Okay, he's known for banging porn stars,
Yeah,
tearing the ACL, doing it, and that's it.
that's what he loves.
He loves it,
Yeah.
and he's in the right place for it in Vegas. But
Mhm.
if we're an offensive minded coach, I need to get Devontae Adams more involved. I need to get some more touches. Maybe let's motion him into the slot a little bit. Let's try to take some from the McVay tree. Let's move our guys.
Yep.
He can win one-on-one matches, but let me make it easier on him.
Let's
But
help him
hey,
somehow.
that's just me. So,
Hey,
but,
we don't
but
know.
man, yeah, we're just stooges. But you just,
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, Marcus, you win the award, pal. You got the
Marcus, buddy.
first week one
I know this is
Stooge of the
big.
week.
This is the he's
Yeah,
our
the
first
inaugural.
winner of the week. I mean,
Yeah,
that's pretty huge.
yeah.
Like, it's almost as
Full
if he
bat.
knew.
I think he did. Look, you could see the look in his eye right there. Like
Yeah.
he knows, like I did something here.
I got a chance to go down in history,
Yeah,
so let me take advantage.
100%. And you know
Yeah.
what? Thank you, Marcus.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah,
So you know
so
what? I think
yeah, what do you
Do you
got?
think it's time to kind of segment over into the top 10? Because I think we
I
kind of
think so.
covered.
We
Well,
covered the games.
do we want to cover the SC game?
Yeah, we can. We can
Okay.
glance over it. Obviously, um,
Yeah.
for those that know us, two SC fans here.
Right on.
Um, Right on, of course. Nick,
Force down for life.
probably a longer time SC fan than me.
Yeah.
But I eventually went to USC, ran
So
track.
you know.
It evens out in the end. So I'm now very heavily invested in the success and demise of USC. So we watch all the games. Probably besides that first game against San Jose State, probably their least convincing
Mm-hmm.
outing.
Yep.
But I this is how I know a lot of people didn't watch. It almost was like they shoulda won by more, and it was just the most confusing, like, game to me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how else to describe it. Like, Arizona State pulled out every trick. We're doing fake punts. We're doing fake punts when we didn't even mean to do a fake punt. We got the running back faking a pooch punt, and then everyone's in man, and then he just starts running, and like, we're breaking tackles, we're doing double passes, we're doing reverses on fourth down. Like, it was just a lot going on. And then a random mesh fumble by Caleb, and I don't know who was it. I think it was Lloyd was the running back at the time, but bad mesh point or something. Like, he thought he was
Yeah.
keeping it, he thought he was, and boom, balls on the ground. Like, just a lot of weird
Yeah.
stuff happening, and they won by 2 touchdowns. So, like,
And I mean, I think it would also kind of cause the people who looked at the highlights to say, "Ooh, they didn't do that well." One of the big highlights on social media was Caleb getting hit in the nuts with a snap. I mean,
it's just one of those games. Like,
that's
that's
just
what was happening. Every drive there was something where I was like, wait, what? Like this just a random ASU guy will make a one-handed catch over somebody, or he'll just hurdle a dude, or
Yeah,
I was like, what's going on here? Something like I look up and it's the fourth quarter. I'm like, wait, is this like a low key game right now? And it just didn't feel that way. Like I was watching it, I never felt one time that SC was even in a battle, which
no,
is what happens sometimes on the road, 7:30 start, and you're just kind of like, we're playing Colorado next week. We're going to be so locked for that game. Let's just get out of here.
yeah. And I mean, I think it kind of helped us to kind of, regain the composure after you got hit in the nuts with the snap by
Yeah.
drinking the buzz ball. We needed a little something
Oh
just to
yeah.
get just to get
Needed to
some
get me
life
back
back,
locked
man.
in. We were starting to lose touch with reality, and we're like, we got some buzzball. Let's get baback locked in
Yeah,
for the boys
yeah.
because they
Had
need
to.
us at the end of the day.
Yeah. It wasn't that we wanted to. It was just, hey,
It was
we
necessary,
we got to do this.
100%.
I mean, I have no doubts in this Trojan team. I mean, I think we're going to the playoffs this year. As long as we don't troll, like you said, we got the best D line to get pressure with four. That's all you need in college football. You got a quarterback that's a mixture of Mahomes and throws dots like nobody's business. We'll be okay. We got
Yeah, I'm
playmakers. We got
thinking
Michael
we'll be all
Jackson the
right.
third.
Got
I
MJ.
mean,
He. They got the most dynamic freshman in the country, hands
yeah,
down, Zachariah Branch. Like they got the
yeah,
guys. The question will always be, can the defense be
consistent.
average? Can they just
Yeah,
be good? Like all right, good game.
yeah,
Because the offense will score 45 every game. Even you could throw
yeah,
Georgia out there, you could throw whoever you want to throw out there. Utah's defense from last year was getting torched.
yep,
The defense it was really good against a lot of other teams was getting torched
yep,
by SC. Was getting torched by a pulled hamstring Caleb.
yeah.
Like the offense will be just fine. It's if the defense can just play steady, get some sacks, a couple turnovers here or there. I think they can beat anybody in the country. And I think the top 10 will reflect this, and I'll kind of preface it because I did a lot of work trying to we did our own Discord call to try and figure out who to put where because it was so tough. There's a
Yeah.
lot of good teams. So like SC is good, Washington's good, Oregon's good. Like there isn't a team where you say that team's way better than someone else or that team's really, really, worse than another team. And that's why we think that SC has a legit shot to be in the playoff because like there's 12 teams that could be in it really.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of teams that if the schedule goes their way, they win one here, steal one there, that they could be in like all the way like 12 deep, I think. 11 for
Yeah.
sure.
I agree. I'm gonna pull this up
Yeah,
and
do
just to
it.
preface, like you said, we didn't just take the USC bias. Like we hopped in the call, we sat down and grinded out. Okay,
Mhm.
who are the top 10 teams in the country?
Yeah. And this I take pride in in top 10s. I did them last year. Um this is just to preface what I said earlier. I think all the way down to Utah in the honorable mentions, so include Washington State in that. I think 12 deep, even Duke is pretty good. I won't quite put them into that caliber of 12 unless if they beat Notre Dame, they might go right
Yeah.
into the top 10.
Yeah.
But I think that those 12 and up, notice I'm not putting Alabama in there. I don't think they've shown me enough yet. They're right around that 13, 14, 15 range. So they can definitely play themselves back into an SEC championship game and you beat Georgia. You never know what can happen. But from 12 up, if someone came in here and said, I think Michigan should be 2 and Texas should be 1 and Penn State should, like, I wouldn't really budge with you that much because it's like they're
Yeah.
all undefeated except Notre Dame. More people punish Notre Dame for a loss than I did because I do think both of those teams are top 10 teams. So
Yeah.
why should a 3-point loss? Granted, if you want to, do the whole they had 10 men on the field, that's unacceptable. Cool.
We
But
gave him an award
the
already.
players
So
on the field that played, they're a top 10 worthy team out there for sure. So,
yeah.
I mean, we can work down from up honorable mentions. Obviously, Washington State, Utah, Duke. I think Duke is underrated in the AP poll. I think Washington State's underrated. I think Utah, people have Utah a little higher than I do. A lot of people have them fringe 8, 9, 10. I just think that until I see Cam Rising play and play well post injury, I can't really put him in there yet. You know, defense is great, 100%, but so is Penn State, so is Michigan, so is Georgia's for the most part. Like, there's some good defenses, so they just haven't shown anything on offense to be able to, like, warrant a top 10. Notre Dame at 10, I think they're good. I think this is the best Notre Dame team. I think it's better than the Manti Te'o team that got smacked by Bama because they have a quarterback. Hartman looks good. He can
Yeah,
do
he's a
enough.
dog.
Yeah, he's good. And this Ohio State team is good. So obviously you don't want to lose at home. But if Notre Dame wins out, there's a case to be made that they can be in the playoff. I think it's a little tougher now that they have an Ohio State loss on the resume, where if we get
Yeah,
into little tiebreakers, Ohio State's 11-1, Notre Dame's 11-1, they might get the boot just because of that loss. But I
yeah.
still think they're worthy of being in there. Oregon just beat the piss out of Colorado. Pretty much all you can say. Like, not much more you can even add. Like, that's just like that's all it was. Better. But the only reason why I don't have them higher is um I don't forget that Texas Tech game from a couple weeks ago. They almost lost. Like, they did not look
Yeah,
good. They gave up 30 points to Texas Tech, a team who's
they're
average
not
at
great.
best. They're okay.
Yeah,
Um, I do think their offense is really good. Their test, will eventually be when they got to play the Washingtons and um,
even Oregon State
they play
could be a
Oregon
good test for
State, and
them.
I'm pretty sure no, not SC.
I don't think they
Yes,
play
SC. No, they
SC.
do because SC doesn't play Oregon State, so they play Oregon
Yeah.
in Oregon.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a November 11th game.
yeah. So that'll be a
Okay.
good game. Obviously, I have Florida State at 8. We kind of went back and forth on where to put them. Me and you both don't really.
We're not buying it. I
I'm
just
not
they're
buying it. Like,
good.
cool win against LSU. I never thought LSU was that good to begin the year. Everybody had them top 5. I was never on that hype train. I think Jaden Daniels is good. I don't think he's
It's not
otherworldly or
great.
even elite, is what people were saying. They were saying Heisman candidate.
Yeah,
He
that was
went
a
to
little high.
ASU, bro. Like, there's only so much you can get. Like,
Yeah,
and then should have probably lost to Boston College. They also got outgained in that Boston College game by over 100 yards.
you do have
So
to
two
factor in though that is the bandana game. So that
Boston College
bandana
was
game, man.
definitely fired up for sure,
Yeah,
but I haven't seen Washington or USC or
yeah.
Penn State or Michigan just like actually struggle to the wire with the team yet.
No,
So there you go. I've seen Georgia struggle as much, and we can jump to them at 7. Most people you're going to see are just going to throw them at 1 because they won the past 2 championships. I don't care what you did the past 2 years. I'm watching the team on the field right now, and they haven't shown me anything to say they should be number 1, let alone top
in the
3,
top
top
five.
5. I mean, if someone put them 5 or 4, I could, okay, sure, they have a good defense, but like, everyone wants to say, wow, SC gave up 28 points to Arizona State. They gave up 21 points to UAB. So what are we really saying? Why would SC get punished, but Georgia just gets to stay at number 1 when they kind of sleepwalk until they have to play a tough game, like at the second to last game of the year? So I'm still not sold on their offense. I'm still not sold on their quarterback. Um, they were down to South Carolina. I do think their defense is good, but until they play a game against a good team, they just haven't done anything to deserve being 1, let alone top 3. Or that's why I just have them at 7. I think all the other teams
Yeah,
above have at least shown me a level that is better than what Georgia has shown. So Michigan at 6, another could be controversial. A lot of people like, Michigan at 2 just because they were so good last year and whatever. Like, kind of,
I
I
mean,
don't know if you watched that Illinois game they played, just kind of a eh.
well, and
Like,
then you could kind of look. Wasn't Rutgers? They were only up by a touchdown, I think, going in the fourth, and then they exploded and
yeah,
had a great
Rutgers was up
offensive
7-zip
performance.
quick in the first quarter, but like, I think they're good. I don't know. I'm not still not convinced on JJ McCarthy.
Yeah,
Um,
I
but
got a lot of questions with
like,
them.
I don't know. What if they like you shut out Iowa? Who cares? Or no, that was Penn State.
That
Sorry,
was
I'm
Penn
getting
State.
my
Yeah,
teams.
Penn State.
We'll get to them next. But like, Michigan probably would have done the same thing. But like,
Yeah,
they were up. It was 7-6 in the second quarter against Bowling Green. like,
Oh
you would
no.
never see that from a SC or a Washington or a like, not gonna happen. So, when we get into the top 5, Penn State, I I have Ohio State, obviously, you could see ahead of Penn State, but I think Penn State is better than Ohio State and better than Michigan. I think
Okay.
they are. Like, I think when they are gonna play one of these teams white out, fans will be rocking. I just think their defense is much more consistent. I think teams are underrating Penn State. I think they've been building to try and beat Ohio State and Michigan, and I think this could be the year that they do it. I don't know what you think.
That's a I think that's a lot to ask. I do agree. I think Penn State right now is better than Michigan
Mhm.
and Ohio State. I will agree with that. Just thinking quarterback wise, to me, college football comes down to your quarterback.
Yeah.
I see more consistent quarterback play from Penn State. Granted, they haven't really played. I
They
mean,
haven't yeah.
Virginia, Delaware, Illinois, but you did shut out Iowa. You put 31 up on a good defense. I would say
Yeah.
Iowa, good defense, just no offense.
Yeah, they jeez.
But
No offense is selling them short.
so we have they're going to be at Ohio State, and we get
Yeah.
that the end of October, so we'll get that question answered.
Mhm.
Honestly, I'm just not buying all the Ohio State hype just because they're Ohio State. Like, I
Yeah.
think you have one of the best receivers in the country, but I don't think your quarterback is going to be able to get him the ball when he needs
Yeah.
because he
Get
made the
them over
throws
the
he needed.
edge. Yeah.
Yeah, he made the throws he needed against Notre Dame. And Notre Dame's got a great defense. I think Penn State's is better. So I think Penn State, like you're saying, will be better in the Big Ten. I just
Mhm.
don't know that they're going to beat both Ohio State and
It's a tough
Michigan.
it's a tall task for sure. 100%.
But I'll be interested to
Um,
see how they do against Ohio State, and then I can kind of
yeah, that'll
evaluate
be a like they're kind of I'm looking at their schedule too. At Northwestern, easy win.
that. Yeah,
And then they're playing UMass.
Massachusetts.
Like
I
they're
mean,
playing the
jeez.
Minutemen. Like that game might be over in a minute, man. Like come on now.
What?
Whoa. I'm putting bars out here into the world.
Hey,
But
yo.
yeah, I mean we can we'll go up to Texas at 4. Um People might look at me and say, "Well, you like Texas's win over Alabama more than Florida State's win over LSU?" And yes, I do.
Yeah,
Okay, they beat now granted they did beat Clemson at Clemson. It's always a tough game no matter what Clemson's ranked, but they still probably should have lost and they're getting outgained like we mentioned before. They're just not they can't run the ball. They're limited. Texas, the height of what I've seen from Texas is higher than the height I've seen from Florida State. Even the great
yeah,
second half they had against LSU, I never thought LSU was that good, so I didn't take too much with it. One thing I do know, I think Bama's defense is still good,
yeah.
and Texas did really well against it. Now the next week they sleptwalked and were tied 10-10 with Wyoming in the fourth quarter, but from 4 to like 7, this Texas, Penn State, Michigan, Georgia, you could go like you could really go a lot of ways. I just value a win at Bama, no matter what Bama they throw out there. That's a tough place to play. Saban's always going to have the boys locked in.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take that a little more than a neutral site win over LSU. Sue me.
Not really.
No, I mean, please don't.
Please.
But I
Yeah.
don't have that much money.
You won't get much, but I mean, you can
No,
try.
you could try. You could give it a shot.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean,
yeah.
honestly, I would say, Zach, I would probably argue to try to put Texas over Ohio State
Okay.
because I think
I could see it.
that Bama win. I can't get over the fact that Ohio State, and I get you don't make the coach's decision for him, but to win that game when the coach only put 10 guys out on the
Yeah,
field,
it
you
leaves
got to
like a sour
wonder.
taste almost. Like
Yeah.
it just almost feels like you didn't beat them legit.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I still think they have the best win.
Yes.
You going
100%.
into Notre Dame and winning.
Yeah.
It is
In
that is
front of touchdown
still
Jesus, that's
that is still a
a lot.
tough place to play. So I
Yeah.
got it. That's the only reason why I don't think they're that good. I could put them as low as 7 or 8 really, but I'm gonna value
Value
great
that win.
wins.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it, and that's where they're at 3. We kind of talked about them a lot because they were game of the weekend, them and Notre Dame.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, and then no surprise. Maybe surprise. I don't know. We got a big two Pac-12 at the top, and see, we're not just straight homers, and gonna put SC number one. They've struggled at times. There's
Yeah.
definite concerns, tackling, the secondary, whatever. But
Snaps.
for me, the I'm always going to take a great offense in college football over a great defense. This isn't Bama 2010, 2012. You're not winning games 17 to 10, 21 to 14. It's not going to happen. You cannot stop these offenses. You have to be able to put up points. And I know for a fact USC will put up points because they have the best player in college football on their team. So that's always going to rank higher for me. That's why I'm gonna put them over a Georgia and a Michigan and a Penn State, but until those teams show me that they can go out there and just ball out and put up points, I just don't think any other offense, even Washington, and we have Washington ahead, I still don't even think Washington has the offense that USC can at their maximum, and I think we kinda saw that, um, against Stanford. They just run the ball. They run the ball really well,
Yeah.
and they have more playmakers. Washington has 3 great receivers, USC maybe not
Like
at the
7.
top end, like, maybe Washington's top 2 are, like, a better 2, but 1 through 8 at SC can get the ball and make somebody miss and go score, which just kinda sets them apart. You're always getting a fresh guy in front of you if you're a defense. You're just never like, "Ah, these guys are fatigued, we're fatigued." It's like, "No, we'll just roll a new 4 in there, and they'll just be lights out."
Yeah. I mean, I like you said, I gotta echo the same sentiment. I mean, USC, I think we knocked them down to number 2 just because we saw those struggles in the desert.
Mhm.
I mean, you can't.
Yep.
I mean, we like to make fun of it, but man, I can't have my quarterback getting hit in the nuts with a snap like that.
Yeah.
That
We need to
can't.
we need to shore that up.
We just sure that up. But you see the playmakers, like you're saying. You could throw a little swing route to Zachariah Branch, and the guy's gone for 95 yards.
Over. Yeah.
Or you could throw it 50 yards over to Michael Jackson the third. We could hit Brendan Rice over the middle. I mean,
Yep.
there's Sting. I think it's Stingley,
Singer.
right? Singer, my
Singer,
bad,
yep.
Singer. And you just got all these different weapons. But
Yep.
until they put that together, I'm going to give Washington the nod because
Yeah.
you know
I'm with
you
you.
did beat Cal and you beat Michigan State, which their coach is going through a
Yeah.
little.
He would have been Stooge of the week, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
he would have. But you know what? I think Marcus Freeman's a better candidate for us. He
Yeah.
can hold that trophy with pride. But when you look through here, they put up 56 against Boise, Tulsa 43, Michigan State 41, and then Cal 59. I mean, they're just
Yeah.
consistent offensively.
And even the Cal game, like everyone's like, "Oh, Cal scored 30." If you watch a game, we sat there, we watched both the Washington game and the USC game at the same time. We watched from start to finish.
Yep.
It was 40, I don't even know what it was at half. It was 52 to 12 at one point.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it was 41 to like 7.
yeah, like the only
41-14.
reason Cal started scoring is they were scoring on second, third, and fourth stringers. Let's just make that very clear for anyone that says their defense sucks. It might not be to the level that you'd see with a Penn State or a Michigan or an Ohio State. It's good enough. I'd say
Yeah.
it's a little better than SC's in the
Yeah.
secondary for sure. Maybe not the starting front four, but they got guys. And the reason why we kind of tick them above is they haven't even been remotely in any type of game. Like SC kind of getting to the end of the third, it was a little weird with
Yeah.
Arizona State. They kind of traded scores with San Jose State. Wasn't it like 14 to 14 or 21 14
Yeah,
and a
it
half?
was
It was kind
14
of
to
like
14 at half, I think.
a weird close game. Washington, nope, just blitzing people. Just like you're getting slaughtered.
Yeah.
So they're the best team I've seen with my own two eyes, and I think that's great for the Pac-12. Like I honestly think if you lined Washington and USC up right now, it would be an insane game, and they will be matching up at some point. But I'm just
Yeah.
hoping that they can both somehow be undefeated. That would be an absolutely insane
Dude.
game that I might have to venture to. That would be November 4th.
I might have to splurge into my pocketbook to get some tickets for that one as well.
Yeah.
But just looking into, the Washington schedule. This week they go to Arizona. Sorry to my Arizona folks. That should be a snooze fest. I mean, they
Sorry to
should
the
beat
Della
the brakes out of.
boys.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, boys.
Yeah.
How to do it.
Gonna be bad.
Didn't want to.
Unless
Just had to
Delora
do it.
has a master class like he did against UCLA last year. I'm not gonna I
You'll
don't
see him at the bar. That's where you'll see him. You'll see him taking
yeah,
shots.
you'll see him at Frog and Firkin.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then the next week, though, you got Oregon coming to town for Washington. So we will
Yeah,
get these questions answered. We'll
that's
have
in
our
2
number 1
weeks.
versus number 9.
There we go.
And then,
Look at
like you
that
said,
look at
November,
that
man.
end of the season. Those last 4 games,
Man,
that is absurd. At SC, home against Utah, at Oregon State, home against Washington State. Like, if you go 4-0, you might just give them the
give him a
chip
trophy.
right now. Like,
Yeah,
that's just I don't even know how you don't drop a game. Which is I hope that the Pac-12 doesn't just eat itself
become the cannibal
alive.
conference. Yep.
I'm hoping someone can at least come out of the championship with a 1 loss. That would be great because then if you have a 1 loss conference champion from the Pac-12, they have to be in with the amount of competition there is. There's no way there can't be.
100%. And I think it might also get factored into the committee. This is the last year of the Pac-12. Like,
Mhm.
let
Give them
let's try to
something.
put all the marketing dollars into
Yeah,
this. Like, if
give
we
the
got a
dogs a
team, like,
bone. No
yeah,
pun intended, man. Like,
I mean, shit. All right, we
uh,
just covered our top 10, and you can let us know down in the comments whether you
yeah,
agree, disagree. We're
please
open to
disagree.
discussions. You know,
Tell me
yeah.
why I'm wrong because I
If you
probably
call us
am.
if you call us a big dumb dipshit, at least let us know why. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, don't just say, "Okay, this guy's an idiot." Tell me
yeah,
why.
we
What do you want me
know.
to put? Duke at number 1? Like, I'm
Yeah,
not crazy. I'm not a crazy
yeah,
man. This isn't
yeah.
basketball.
No, not doing that. I think it might be time to go into some funny stuff that we've seen through Twitter
Okay.
because it's just,
Yeah.
I mean,
Just
the things that,
lighten the mood a little bit.
yeah, I mean, so let me just kind of scroll down to where mine would start. So let me just kind of share my screen here real quick.
Mhm.
Let me go ahead right here.
Yeah,
Okay,
I have my one my one clip ready so I could just
you got
blast
your
Chris
one.
Sims at one point. At some point, Chris Sims is getting blasted by me.
Oh man, oh yeah, we're gonna talk about Chris Sims.
Yeah, dude,
So
big idiot.
I saw that the Shrek Swamp.
Okay.
What are you doing in my swamp?
Yeah.
Is available on Airbnb.
It looks kind of sweet. I'm not
I
even gonna
mean,
lie.
I
Like, look at
I
that.
would venture in there. I
Where
mean,
is this though? In the redwoods? Like Redwood 4? Like,
it's a good question. I didn't do that much research into where it is. From what I could tell, a lot of people were tagging some adult film stars should be there.
okay,
So,
yeah,
you know,
that'll probably be coming soon.
yeah, that's a creative opportunity. Speaking of an adult film star, though, I mean, we just found out the cheetah. People think
Do you have
people
that? Do you
think.
have that pulled up?
I have that one from Instagram. I did not find that one
Jeez,
on
no,
Twitter,
we don't even need to
unfortunately.
we don't need to have the people hear that.
I-
If you know, you know. Let's just say the cheetah, when his career's over, wants to be a porn star, I guess. I don't
but
know
But the big
why.
question about it though is he's known for being the fastest on the field. Does he still want to be the fastest in that field?
Yeah, I don't know if his skill set will really translate. I guess that's something we're gonna
Yeah.
have to, I guess we'll wait and see. But I'm hoping he plays for a while and then maybe gets this notion out of his head. Like, hey, buddy,
Yeah.
we don't.
Isn't he married too? I mean,
Probably not.
okay. That's yeah, you play Madden on
Probably
a
not.
Wednesday.
Yeah, like this guy's streaming
That's
Madden tournaments or whatever. Like he's playing Fortnite like for like 2 years straight.
uh,
So anyone
I
still doing that is just insane in the head.
man, I think the best part about that clip though is it again, if you know, you know. Just what do you do if you're Mike Evans? Like, oh, hey
Yeah,
man,
like just on a
do what
yeah,
you do.
crazy.
And then just
Like
moving up, I mean,
uncool.
this we're
Yeah.
not gonna beat this dead horse again, but just looking over at Lou Holtz and Ryan Day. So for those of you who didn't already get the idea for the last 45 minutes with us, Ryan Day called out this 89-year-old man who is one of the greatest college football coaches.
Ever.
He's in the Hall of Fame for it.
Legend.
It's just an
Legendary.
absolute legend. He's known for the newspaper trick and
Yep.
the bumblebee speech.
Yes.
And so this man just came out and just started blasting this man who has said he has dementia again. So he doesn't know he doesn't remember what he says, but he's got people that remember. He's got a foundation.
Mhm.
I mean, he just goes through and he professionally
Oh,
just
just
mushroom
as
stamps
yeah,
fucking Ryan Day.
as good as it gets. Just an
I
absolute
mean,
pro.
just
Yeah.
we've given
They
it
don't
enough
make him
for today.
like Lou anymore, man. Just know we're team Lou Holtz.
Oh, all
And
the
don't
way.
ever get it twisted. I'll
No,
never be
absolutely.
team Ryan Day,
No.
ever.
I was actually a decent, Ohio State supporter, and now I I can't
It's
do it.
just it pissed me
That's
off.
bullshit. That's
Like you're going
bullshit to me.
after a
Yeah.
guy. Yeah,
I mean,
don't do it.
why don't we stop pointing the finger, Ryan Day? Let's point the thumb, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Your boys got their
Well,
ass kicked by Michigan twice, by Alabama. Like, it happened.
yeah, yeah.
So, sorry.
That's fair. That's fair criticism, I'd say.
Yeah. So, and then going up here, this guy has an invisibility shield.
Okay.
I mean, first of all, my big question, am I going to get this in Call of Duty? I hope not,
I
but
mean, is this not just a riot shield? Is it like, or is it? It's see-through. It's
I
not invisible. Oh, it is. Wait.
it's like
I
I
mean,
thought the
it's
same thing. It's
kinda
like
like. But if they see you walking around,
they see
they're
little
like, wait,
footsies.
how's this
trying to
thing
go
moving?
through.
There's got to be somebody behind that. It's moving.
Yeah, well,
I
you
guess
didn't
I
think of the
guess it could be good
logistics.
for maybe
I think
hunting.
I think it's
Like if you post up in you put in some shrubs and then like
yeah, you
they
just kind of
can't
chill
see and it
behind
kind of
it.
sees like the background of just the bushes and like maybe for hunting purposes, but like
This looked
fighting,
right here. I
yeah,
think was
what's he
what did
doing?
it.
Laying tripwire?
I mean, it looks like it, but I'm not gonna lie to you. The first time I saw it, and I saw it last night, so maybe I was just tired.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't notice that he's right here. Now looking at it again, I know where he is, so I can kind of see it. But
Got it.
that was kind of a cool little like.
You're
I
like,
thought it
"Wait,
was
what's over
stupid.
there?" I thought it was just
Yeah,
like a weird looking trash can.
yeah. It said invisible shield. I was like, okay, the big dumb
Like,
dipshit got
okay, what
me.
does this guy think
Okay,
he's Captain America?
yeah. And then I hate to do this, but hey, sorry about it. This was from the Bears.
Yeah, jeez.
Get ready to win.
Yeah, well, the question is, are they gonna I'm gonna pull up their schedule, okay, and
Man,
see. I'm just gonna read through, and you name me what they're gonna win. Home against the Broncos, maybe.
I
Okay,
mean that's a shit bowl. So we
we
hope
need it.
one person wins that.
At the Commanders, maybe. Home against the
Maybe,
Vikings, probably not. Home
probably
against
not.
the Raiders, maybe. At
Maybe
the
Josh McDaniels
Chargers,
trolls.
no.
Nope.
At the Saints, probably not. Home against the Panthers, could get that
Maybe
one.
potentially.
Home against the Lions, probably not. At the
Dan
Browns,
Campbell's.
probably not. That
Nope.
defense is pretty good. Home against the Cardinals.
Well,
I
Dobbs,
mean, I
the
don't
rocket
know.
scientist, been kind.
Yeah,
I mean, he beat Dak
Dobbs
Prescott,
might have him
and
cooking.
yeah,
Home against the Falcons, maybe.
already
I feel like
Smith's winning
Ritter's
that.
benched at that point, hopefully.
Yeah,
And then at the Packers, probably. Like, I guess they have an easy schedule, but
they're just
in their
terrible.
defense, they did lose to the Packers, at the Bucks, at the Chiefs. Like the two games they just lost were on the road against two playoff teams, so from
Yeah.
last year. So I guess we could give him that little bit of slack. But they don't even look competitive. Like
So
that's the
it's really
issue.
odd just looking at, and I do have a biased opinion because I have Fields on my fantasy football
Yeah,
team. And I,
yeah.
I just need, first of all, I
That'll
need them to
turn the
start running
bias
the
on
ball
for
more.
sure.
Oh, 100%. But I just looked at Justin Fields' film and I said, okay, let me just look at what play calls we got. Because I'm thinking, okay, I got DJ Moore. I need to get the ball out quick. Let me run a slant.
Hmm.
I don't think I've seen DJ Moore run than like two slants. He runs a lot of bubbles, which
Yeah,
not
they
going to get it
do.
done.
Yeah, is DJ Moore a yak guy? I didn't know if like.
Well, it's hard to be a yak guy when we can't get you the
Well,
ball.
yeah.
That's
I don't
just
know. My bad.
well, and then you got a decent tight end who can kind of, make some moves. And I haven't seen one play call like, okay, maybe they are and he's just not reading it right. But like, okay, Justin, I want you to take a three-step drop. I want you to
Boom.
your tight end's gonna post up 5 yards down the field. Let's just get you a couple dart.
Right at his chest.
Just boom, right there. Or
The
as Chase has,
thing
one of
the
the two.
thing that could help you fantasy football wise, eventually
Yeah.
do they get to a point where they're like, "Hey dude, just start
We're just
running
gonna run it.
again, man.
Yeah. Could
Like
work.
who cares anymore? Just do your running thing, get 150 yards, 2 touchdowns, and that's what we're going to try and do for the rest of you." So it might end up
Could be.
slowly coming back in your favor a little bit.
Well, I did go to the waiver wire to make some moves, and I
Okay.
did pick up Jordan Love, leave him on the bench right now.
All right, that's not a
And I
bad.
did
He's
pick
been
up
balling.
Musgraves for my tight end as well.
Not bad.
So,
Not bad.
because I mean I got some stacked receivers. We're looking good. We
You
just
just got to
needed
put
that little
you need the
bit.
boys just to fire on all cylinders at one time. That's what you're
Yeah,
looking for.
it's just tough when your quarterback's giving you 12 points a game and you got your
Hmm.
receivers giving you 30, and it's like, hey man, like can we
It
can
can
we
get
just
tough.
get a little help here?
Yeah.
But that's my own cross to bear. I bought it.
You
That's
believe the hype,
yeah.
and now you got to live with it.
And now I got that's the way it works. Moving up. I think this is just great to see that the college football committee. Remember, we did this actually on Zach's stream,
Yes.
and we thought, how could we do this 12-team playoff?
Mm-hmm.
We said, well, let's take the 5 conference winners and then 7 at larges. Well,
Yep.
lo and behold,
Yep. That's what
how
they want to
about
do.
that?
But then, did you just see the thing where they're like, "Oh, we might delay. We don't know what's going to happen with the Pac-12. We might have to delay the 12 team." I'm like, "Don't do that to
Yeah,
me.
don't do that to me. That's
Don't do that.
just
Just I'll take 12 at larges at this point. Like,
yeah,
give
yeah.
me
Just give
12
me the
teams."
12 teams. Boom.
But it makes the most sense. I think how we did it also was we did always take the best non-Power 5 team,
We did.
whether it's a Notre Dame or a UCF or a Fresno State or, whoever it could be. We would
Yep.
always take them. Then we did the 6 at larges, but it kind of works out the same way. Normally, a
Yeah.
good Power 5 team is going to end up being right around that 12 to 15 range regardless.
Yeah.
If you think of
100%.
Tulane last year and, those teams kind of,
Hey, still
even
too
Notre
soon.
Dame, like, yeah, a tough game.
It's
They're going to
just
kind of flutter around that 10 to 15 range, so they'll typically always get in. So I would like the committee to somehow maybe get one of those involved if they're
yeah.
deserving, obviously. Like, if it's just like, "Oh, we're gonna put this random team in," don't do it, but
Yeah, we don't need that.
it'd be nice to see, a good squad in there. Because even when Cincinnati played Bama that one time, it wasn't horrible, like, they didn't
Oh,
get smacked. They couldn't score, obviously, but, like,
well, what are you gonna do?
Sauce Gardner was trying to lock some people down, so they were trying.
Yeah, they gave it their best shot.
Yeah.
And then just moving up here, uh, I saw this video where this lady basically
I think I've seen this.
she found this
Is
cat on
this
the
the
side of the road,
panther?
and it's a panther,
Crazy.
bro.
Kinda sweet, though.
I would love to have a
I'm
pet
down.
panther. Like,
If you raise
do you
it
know the
if you
homeland security with this thing?
I think only if you raise it it was gonna die in the wild and then you raise it. Like, any other way,
It's killing you.
yeah, there's a chance. Where's my food? I
Well,
wanna eat a
right here,
rabbit.
right
And
there.
then, like, you have a dog and it just kills the dog, and you're like, "Oh, okay, not good." But
Yeah.
if it knows the deal, and he grows up with you, I think you can make it work. My only question is, that's an exotic animal. What are the animal rights like?
So
Are you allowed to have that as a pet?
so I actually I kind of my mom follows this account, so she shows me these
Okay.
videos all the time.
Alright.
Doing some research, that they live in Russia, so they run their own thing.
They
You
can
know
do
what
what
I
they
mean?
want. Yes, makes sense.
Yeah. There's
Okay.
videos of this woman feeding the panther just a nice little steak, little raw
Sure.
steak, and she's training the panther, not to bite
Just
your fingers, but there could just be one day she decides,
keep that panther away from Hasbulla at all costs. We don't need any
please,
hiccups.
no, 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 look at that,
Okay.
like
It does look
that's,
pretty cool.
but we
I
can't
don't
have
know if
Hasbulla getting hit.
it would, like, in Russia, what terrain does a panther need? Like, I
Well,
guess
it
you can
likes going in. Yeah, it
have
likes
a
going in the
snow leopard
snow.
type of vibe,
It does that, but there's a lot of videos where it's playing with the dog, and the dog runs across, and out of
and it just
nowhere, you see this
jumps,
panther out of a tree just
just
coming
fly
down.
onto him. Yeah, like, I don't know
So,
if that would fly in Southern California as a pet,
uh,
but, like,
I
you're
mean,
taking it on a walk? Like,
I think we isn't there a law that we can't have ferrets too? So,
I
I mean,
did
if we
not
can't have a
know.
ferret,
If
maybe
you
we can't
can't
have
have
a
a
panther,
ferret, you can't
but
have much. Like, ferrets, dude,
dude,
what are
they're
they gonna
just
do?
little marmot. I mean,
Yeah,
unreal. All right, next. So this is just kicking the Commanders while they're down,
and I enjoy doing that as an Eagles fan.
as you should.
Yeah,
Eh, Sam Howell's projected to get sacked 107 times this year.
that's a lot. That's I mean,
Yeah.
that's doesn't even sound right. How many is that a game? He was sacked 9 times against the Bills.
Yeah,
What is he average in a game? Like 8?
probably 8 or 9.
8 times 18? Or 8 times they play 17?
I'm
Yeah.
not doing that math.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just trusting
I
me.
ain't got that.
That's yeah. I don't.
Let's
I don't
just
have that.
say it's too many.
Yeah, too
I
many
mean,
for
yeah, he
my
got sacked
liking.
9 times. He threw 3 picks. I thought the Commanders were half decent, but they did, like, I don't know if they are because they went to the wire with the Broncos, and those guys
Yeah,
suck. They got 70 put on them.
man.
So 70.
I
Can't
got to tell
believe
you though,
I can't
if
believe that
I
was a real game.
if I get to 70, make it,
Are you
I'm
kicking
getting a
that
record.
field goal? Yeah, right?
I'm
You
scoring a
have to.
touchdown. I
Well,
don't
they had a
care.
chance for the field goal for the record. 73 is the record.
Well, why would I get it 73 when I could get 77? I know
No, no,
my
they
offense
tr
will
yeah,
score.
but, like, say this was the predicament, like, they were in territory,
Mhm.
there was a minute or whatever left, they could kick a field goal. They
Mhm.
decided to just knee it, turnover on downs, and then the Broncos just kneed it out, but they could have kicked it,
I could have kicked it.
but they
I'm
decided
either
not to.
kicking it
I'm kicking it.
I'm either kicking it or I'm a scumbag and I see that I got the ball when I get it and I'm up 70 and I'm saying we're going for 77. We're tracking it that way.
77, even if it's not 77, I'm kicking it to
Yeah,
get the
I have to.
record. Like, you get the like, nobody will be mad at you for going for the record.
No, at
So you
that point,
can't
I mean,
even
it's
say,
already a beatdown.
and
Like,
at that point, who cares? I don't care, Sean Payton. Like, brother, you need to stop me. I got Mike
hey,
White coming out here throwing deep balls. Like,
hey,
anything's working on you.
sorry, I got a future porn star practicing. It's like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah,
The
like
guy's trying to get ready
we
for his
got the.
future career.
They didn't even, and this is, they didn't even have Waddle.
No,
Waddle didn't even play, and they
no,
were just torching them. They had over 700 yards of offense. You don't even see that in
dude.
college.
I thought my phone was tweaking. I
I thought
restarted
I
it three
was
times.
no, I was sitting there watching, and then my parents came back to watch like just the end of Red Zone, and I was like, it was on the screen. You know when it shows all the scores of the games,
Yeah,
and my mom walked in. It was like, does that say 70? And I was like, yeah. She's like, that's not real, right? That's a typo. It's like it was 20-10 or something. I'm like, no, they
it's 70,
dropped 70, and they could have scored more.
dude.
It was like, geez, that ain't good. I was
I
like,
mean,
yeah.
it's fair. It's safe to say the Dolphins are a wagon this year. Okay, like if Tua can stay healthy, and that's a
Yep.
big
As
if
long as he keeps
because
falling correctly,
yeah, and he did
be good.
practice that this
Yeah, he's
offseason.
been doing his
So
jujitsu. He's been
yeah,
doing the Joe Rogan falling training or whatever.
yeah.
Um,
So if he can
yeah,
stay
looking good.
healthy, they sky's the limit for that team. But looking up here is Zay Flowers. So I thought this was very interesting. This guy is a speedster.
Very,
Got
very
great
fast.
hands, very very fast.
We're not running that far.
Yeah, why don't we try to, I don't know, maybe a little loop and go since we've done this every time, but
Maybe, maybe.
10 targets, 48 yards. He's got 18 yards after contact. So
I
I
think
don't
that's yards after
know.
catch. Actually,
Oh, my bad.
I think
Okay.
I think the
Yards
running
after
backs would
catch.
have yards after contact, and
His
then the
might be after
receivers
contact though.
probably
Look at where he's catching.
maybe.
He might be getting hit here
Nah,
and
I
boom.
think it is because see the green. The green is after catch, but still, we're not
Oh,
doing. He's
gotcha.
probably
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
contacted too during
Yeah.
all that.
I just
Yeah,
you
it's
pay your quarterback Lamar. He's got a good arm. I'm not saying he's the most
he
accurate
can throw
passer,
it. He can
but
throw it pretty deep too. Like he's got a cannon on him.
he's got a cannon. And then you got to think, all their running back issues are going through. Like, let's start running Lamar. Like,
Yeah,
let's get him involved. Let's start running that ball again. I've already paid him.
you
Yeah, I'm
got to
not
do it,
changing
man.
that.
Like at
So
some point, you have to go to what was working for you.
yeah,
Don't
I
try
mean
and make some. It's what they're trying to do with Justin Fields. They're trying to make him this pocket passer. Like
he's not
now, granted, he's missing some freebies out there, but still, let him run a little,
just
just
some
to get
bunnies,
his
and we're just
mojo going.
yeah. It's man when week 3 or week 4 is already around, I guess, and we're saying we're just enjoying the little things. Like
Hmm.
your
Not good.
your team's screwed, and then I hear
You're dead.
they got $100,000 worth of deer equipment stolen. But hey, I mean it is
They're
John
getting
Deere, so I get it.
their
But
defensive coordinator's house got raided. Yeah, like talk about Stooge of the week also, or like
could have been.
think about the like maybe intern or equipment guy that's working for the Bears, right? So the week has been horrible. Quarterback comes out says the coaches suck, but really he sucks. Then your DC is getting his house raided by the FBI. Then later in the week, imagine you're the GM, right? You're just sitting there, just typing away, trying to just do damage control on everything. And your little equipment guy comes in, he's walking in, he's probably on minimum wage. He's like, "Hey, you're not gonna believe this, but we got all of our tractors stolen. We got everything's gone."
Everything
Wait, what do you
gone.
mean it's gone? Like I
Not here
went in
anymore.
there because I was gonna go cut the grass. There's nothing in there. So, and then if I'm the GM, I'll kill him. I'll kill that kid right now because it's
Have
not
to.
his fault, but your dad. It's someone's got to get
Hey, yeah,
the
someone's
brunt
gotta get off.
of this. Like, I don't know how that's possible. How many locks and gates would they have to go through to get out? And where did they take them? They put them on a truck. What is this? The Sopranos? Ah, the TV fell out of the back of the.
Yeah.
Like, where do you go with a bunch of like field equipment?
You think they just returned it back to John Deere and
Do
they
you
didn't
think
ask
they just
questions?
drove it out? And like, there's just a bunch of like, there's just a yard full of like Chicago guys, just some guys in like downtown Chicago that just have a bunch of deers outside. They can only cut their dang grass like half of the year because it's too cold.
Bro, but
So like
you got 10 guys just deep on these tractors, and they're just on the freeway, just 10 wide. Just
they're racing them. You got like how in Philly they do the wheelies with like the bikes and stuff. That's their thing. They're just racing John Deeres. They're like souping them up and like having drag races down the street. It's crazy.
man, Chicago, we got to be better. Okay,
Figure it out. Okay, your
figure it
team's
out.
already struggling, and then you're like, you know what? Let's just ruin their week right here, so they don't have a good practice field. Let's steal all their stuff. Like, thanks for nothing. No wonder your team stinks.
Figure it out. But then we got the news that
Breaking news,
Damian
really.
Lillard.
Like
Yeah, that was like 5 hours ago,
that was,
6
yeah.
hours
Like
ago, something like
nah,
that.
like during the day, yeah. Like a noonish, noon one. Like yeah, out of
Lillard,
nowhere.
yeah, Dame time is going to Milwaukee,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not saying I don't like it. I don't love it because I like
It's
this
cool.
lineup decently. Bobby Portis in my starting lineup is never gonna make me feel comfortable.
Yeah, I think they just like they still just struggle at guard, really. Like now
Yeah,
Holiday's gone, like Grayson
yeah.
Allen's gone. I'm not saying he was the best player in the world, but he was a
He'll trip you at
decent
least.
guard.
Yeah,
Like it's just Dame.
Dame.
Like Middleton's even like he's
He's
more
not a
of a
ball handler.
3. Giannis is basically a center with the ball. Brook Lopez is a center. Bobby Portis is a 4 that doesn't handle the ball. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It could be cool. Nuggets in 5. Like
I think it's either the Nuggets or if the Lakers can stay healthy, I think that team could be good.
maybe the
But it really
Suns, like
depends.
if they kind of like actually get it clicking for a year, potentially. Like I'll
I
still give
just
KD the benefit of the doubt most times.
I just don't think KD's gonna be healthy the whole year. I
That's
really
fair.
hate to say it, but
That's a fair point.
I mean, how many times has he slipped on the floor when it's wet? I mean, good God.
Yeah.
Get it together.
Yeah, let's get some balance or something. Let's get some stabilization.
Yeah.
Let's work on a couple
Yeah.
things, all right?
Yeah. We're a professional athlete. Let's
Yeah.
kind of,
Let's
let's
maybe take care of the body or something. I
just
don't
a little
know.
bit. It's a
What do
little
we
bit.
know? We didn't do shit. It's not like I
Didn't do sh-
competed.
No, I didn't do any of that. All I just knew was win or lose, we booze.
Yeah. And that, I
I
mean,
mean,
doesn't get much worse. Yeah.
it's a good lineup, but I
It'll be
honestly
good.
I
They'll make the
think
playoffs. They'll lose to Jimmy Butler and a bag of chips, probably. Jimmy
pretty much.
Butler will probably now he's pissed because
Yeah.
he's like there was tampering, and he'll probably come out and drop 40 every game, and they'll just beat him because Jimmy's always going to get his and then lose in the finals. So there you
Yep.
go.
And they talked about I didn't have this graphic, but they said that Drew Holiday, the Portland Trailblazers are looking to move him right away.
Hmm.
A move I could see happening is the Golden State Warriors trading Chris Paul for Drew because
Yeah.
Drew is that defensive stopper that lets Curry just play offense.
Yep. I could see that.
And if they do
I
that,
think
they
Drew
could be a
Holiday's a
dangerous team.
he's just a good guy that can fit into pretty much anywhere.
I could see the Lakers trying to make a move for him too.
Any team you throw him on, like he's always gonna
Yeah,
he'll fit in well. He knows his role. He can get you
he's a
some.
dog.
He can if you need him to go in there and get 20, he could do it.
Yeah.
If you need him to kind of just lock up, get 8 assists, he can do it. Like he's very versatile.
So that'll be interesting to watch this next year. Now this is
Yeah.
some scary news. ChatGPT can now browse the internet and is no longer limited to information up to 2021. Now,
Yeah, we're done.
I've seen a movie recently
We're done.
that talked about this. You've seen iRobot, right? With Will Smith.
I have.
How far away are we from this? Because even the symbol looks like
We're
Sunny.
getting close. It's I'm getting a little nervous, okay?
Yeah.
Because once they take over, it's like what do you mean information like
I don't
they
know. That's a good question.
so now they can just like they're on it like normally so information up to 2021 that means they could only go back and were they using previous information from prior to 2021 to kind of like you feed into their system like those are the words,
what I was
sentences,
thinking.
paragraphs. So now they're just like
They got
live,
everything.
like
They got
anything
it all.
at all times. Okay, yeah, we're done.
That's we're
That's
done.
GG's. It's
Good.
been nice knowing you.
This guy was pretty funny. I saw this. I guess it was someone watching the Pat McAfee show for the first time. And
Okay,
for those of you who listened to the Stooge experience, if you like being a Stooge, I'd also recommend checking out the Pat McAfee
they're the
show.
best.
They're just the
Best
absolute
in the
best
business.
Stooges. Love the Stooges over there.
Yeah.
But this guy sends in no subject, by the way. So he's pissed. Okay. I'm not even gonna give you a subject.
No.
But this is all we got. I tried watching your show. I was looking forward to it. That's a good start.
Yeah.
That's nice. You tried it. I saw what was scrolling across the bottom of the screen. 3 times I saw program misspelled as program. Okay. Happens. It's a different dialect than you're used to, but
Yeah.
it's Stoogery. This is how we do it.
This is how we don't spell correctly sometimes.
Yeah. After the third time I turned it off, I can't watch a show with that kind of idiocy involved. So clearly Bob is not a Stooge.
Bob did not get the program.
No.
He didn't understand the program
Sorry
over
about it,
there.
pal. So
Yeah.
that just kind of made me laugh a little bit.
Yeah.
And then this one right here, a British Airways pilot has been fired after
Yeah.
snorting
This
cocaine off a topless
this is the
woman
big
and
this
then
is the big
trying
one.
to fly a passenger plane back to London. Look, why he just wanted to take a bump off some bumps, okay? Like
Yeah.
what's the problem? Okay.
I mean,
Well, the big
it's a
question.
little problem. I mean,
True.
come on. What are we doing? First of all, like what?
Was it a flight attendant? Like, and did he go on the intercom and say,
Yeah,
like,
that's it doesn't
excuse me,
specify.
passengers, like, we're
If
gonna
it
experience
wasn't a
some
flight
bumpy
attendant, like did
turbulence. Like,
who nominated themselves to?
yeah,
So and it wasn't like tried to snort cocaine. Like he did it.
he did it.
He
He
snorted it
succeeded.
off this lady. Like
Yeah.
he did it. So what went into that? What?
Yeah.
My boy was risen up some like somebody to like. Yeah, I don't know. I
A
mean,
lot of
more
questions.
power to him. You'll never fly again. So there you go.
It-
Your job's over.
Yeah.
I hope it was worth it.
You
Might have been.
how big was the bump too? Like, what are we talking here? Like,
Yeah. Did he
a lot of
really?
questions. Did he go skiing? Like, what are
And
we?
obviously, a lot of questions. We could have read the article. We didn't.
Of course
We
not.
did. We
We're
read the
Stooges.
headlines and then
Yeah.
we think
Make
this
inferences from there.
is probably how it happened.
100%.
Yeah. Flying
tell
a
you
plane
what.
back to London, so it's definitely just a old.
Yeah.
It's just a typical
old geezer.
degenerate. Yeah.
Yeah. Old geezer, been doing
Yeah.
it for 40 years,
For
didn't
sure.
give a shit anymore, and said, you know what? Come here. Let me have a little good time here.
Yep.
For all we know, maybe he was retiring that day, and they just wanted to say they fired him instead. And hey,
Could have been.
more power to you.
So I'm going out. I've been wanting to do this for so long. I'm doing it today. Who cares? Hey, flight attendant. Where's the cookie? Huh? Bring it. Come on.
Right.
You. Yes, you.
Right.
And then
Right there.
take your shirt off too.
Let's get to business.
Like, come on.
Oh,
What are we doing?
All right, man. You can pull yours up because I know you said you got a clip, and we
Yeah,
do have something big to talk about too.
Yeah, this ties into just we haven't gone too in depth into the NFL just because I like to wait till 4 weeks of the season have gone by, then we get into a power ranking. So next week we'll have an NCAA top 10 that we can kind of sort through, and we'll have an NFL one, and we can get a little more dialed in on the NFL games. You just don't really know what's what until week 4. Teams start slow, teams start fast. Then you can kind of compare this team played this team beat that. You can kind of do a little more mix and match. But one thing we do know is the Eagles are 3-0.
That's a fact.
And they
Go
can
Birds.
push sneak. They can push like no one else. And everybody hates it. Right? Well, I don't. I don't care.
I'm good with it.
Like I'm fine by it. But Chris Sims, never been a big Eagles guy. Hates Jalen Hurts pretty much. Thinks he's a stooge who can't throw. This is what he had to say about we're calling it the tush push.
But they know. And then, the other thing that's going to stop it is, and which is like, if I was a defensive coach, I'd be going with go ahead hunting on the quarterback here. Go ahead. Let him have it. Dive over, go crazy, try to kill the quarterback. That's what I would do.
Okay.
I don't mean it
Hands
like that.
immediately go
I
up.
didn't say that.
No, I did, but
I didn't say that.
But Second of all, that's
Wait a
not what
second.
Chris means. Yeah, I don't mean kill, but I mean just make
do
them
you
pay,
mean?
make them.
I don't know that you mean that. I don't
Huh?
know what you mean by it.
Aspect is like, yeah, there's some teams.
So that's what that idiot had to say. You have I could pull up more. You have Nick Wright. You have shout out Patty right here. This guy is a loser. There you go. Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
Patty.
You just have a lot of people saying it's an abomination to the league, like to the NFL. And the only thing I'll say is week 1, 4 other teams tried to do it and they went 0-4. So if it's so overpowered, why can't, why can't everyone do it at the same rate? Which is what I'll pull up my my response to this, which is what I put. If it's so unstoppable, why aren't other teams' conversion rates similar to the Eagles? Seems like a skill issue to me.
If you want, you
You
can
know?
also pull up my response to it. I
Yeah.
responded to Nick Wright actually. I retweeted
Okay.
Nick Wright, and
We'll get yours on here.
just to kind of get
And
like,
yeah, so Nick Wright, we might as well play this
will
too.
eventually
over
be
here.
proven right. That tush push play is a blight on the league. It's bad for the sport. It should not be allowed. And the question I would ask everyone that says, oh, just get better, get tougher, get stronger, learn to stop it. If Philadelphia perfected it to a degree where instead of being a guaranteed 1 or 2 yards, it was a guaranteed 4 or 5 yards, would the NFL outlaw it? And the answer is yes. It would be the only play they would run, and it would ruin the watchability of the NFL. At the end of the day, pro football is the entertainment business. It is not going to be in the league 5 years from now. It might not be in the league 6 months from now.
So that's what he had to say. Now, I do kind of agree with the if you could get 4 to 5 yards.
yeah,
Maybe they'd ban it. I tend to lean on the side of why, if someone is playing within the rules of the game,
Yeah.
why, like, if someone's being creative, like, okay, so, like, it's not fun to the eye to watch it, but, like, I just don't get I don't know. It's like, I'm not the biggest baseball guy, but people banning, like, shifts.
yeah. I think that's a great equivalent to it.
Like, why does the offense just, like, if you can't hit it the other direction, then why wouldn't I move my shortstop over and have 3 on one side? Like, why wouldn't I do that? Why do I get punished for you being bad at something? Like, if I'm a defense, I should be able to put my humans wherever I want, and if you think I'm an idiot for doing it, then so be it, but I have the right to do it. It goes the same way with this. Like, why can't I do a sneak? I'm not breaking a rule. I
Yeah.
have enough guys on the line of scrimmage. Like, I don't get it. And so you said QB sneak has been in the game since it first started. Any quarterback can do it. It's not the Eagles' fault that their QB is an absolute dog. Go get a QB that squats over 600 if it's that big of a deal, which I agree with. Yeah, you can speak more to that though.
I mean, so just kind of going through the complaints about it. First of all, it's like what you said. You want to break down football to its basis elements. Okay, that's fine. What is more authentic to football, which has always been a bunch of stooges lining up, running into each other, seeing who's
Yep.
bigger, faster, stronger, more athletic, and kind of more crazy in the head.
Yeah.
Than having, you need 1 yard, your quarterback lines up under center, and because my quarterback is more athletic, my offensive line is more athletic than you, I get punished because the defense can't stop it. Why don't they? Here's a thought, and I haven't seen any team do this. If you know it's a QB sneak, why don't we hit a little bear front and hit a 2-eye and a head up? Like,
Yeah,
try
or
that.
like the only thing I could see them banning maybe is like the push part. Like, hey, you can only have one
Okay.
guy pushing.
But
or
it
you
doesn't
can't have
matter
3.
about the push. So
Yeah, like
JJ
they
Watt
just
cheated
hate
on
that they
that.
can just like go in and do it. Like, if you're saying, hey, okay, only one guy can put hands on somebody and push them forward. Okay, if you want to make that like I bet you they still do it though. I feel like
I-
this is more of a Jalen Hurts and Jason Kelsey success
Yeah.
than anything else because we've seen a lot of teams fail. And I
Look,
think
if
yeah,
it's that
go.
big of an issue, why don't teams just sign like Cam Newton? There's a
Yeah,
big quarterback. He can lift a lot of weight.
yeah,
Sign him and he'll do your quarterback sneak. Like,
for sure.
as a Rams fan, I will say this. I could run a quarterback sneak with Matt Stafford. Do I want to? Absolutely not.
No.
Am I going to be mad at the Eagles for finding a play with their playmaker that works?
Yeah.
No, it'd be the same thing as if people said it's illegal for Cooper Kupp to motion all the way across a bunch formation, then loop back underneath so that he can get himself a
Yeah, or the
fast cutoff. Like,
or the Tyreek, they're basically playing Canadian football. He just has a running start and then goes up the field. No one's in arms about that. We haven't really seen that much, and it's like,
yeah,
wow, look how innovative the Dolphins are. And I think they are. I think it's fun. But
yeah,
I think if you only let one side of this coin go, then we're losing touch with it. Like I don't agree with the it's an yeah, it's entertaining. People are going to watch no matter what. It is the NFL. People have been involved in this thing for
long
years.
time.
Like we're gonna way longer than a QB sneak being the greatest play in the world. Like
Yeah.
I just think once you go and start just like find a way to stop it, or don't let him get into 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1. Like that's your own fault. You know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, because another example of that, the Kansas City Chiefs, what was it, 2 years ago, did a QB sneak with
Mahomes,
Patrick Mahomes, and his
knee,
knee ended up at his ankle.
yeah, and people like Brady used to do it all the time. That guy's the GOAT. Like everyone
Yep.
would say, well, 1 yard, Brady sneak time. They don't really know how he did it, but he was just the best at it. Like this is just a different iteration. Will say one thing, which is a little more analysis, just because I'm an Eagles fan. I watch all the Eagles games. One thing that I think separates the Eagles sneak from other team sneak is Jason Kelsey is notoriously a quick snapper.
Yeah.
Even when Hurts is in the shotgun, he said on the podcast, the New Heights
New Heights, yeah.
podcast, with that when Kelsey's snapping, that ball gets to him fast. It's there because Kelsey wants to get up and be ready to block, and the same goes for when it's under center. Like it might only be 0.1, 0.2, couple tenths, but in
All that
that
matters.
situation, if it's 1/10 for you to be here and your hands get underneath instead of missing a guy, like that can be the difference. So I think people aren't taking into account how athletic. I mean, people know how athletic Kelsey is, but in this situation, he is almost more of the key because if it's a bad snap, if it hits his hands a little hard, if it gets there slow, a lot of things don't happen.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just tough to hear people complaining about that because it's like, look, one, if we're going to talk about it's boring, well, you said it's a points driven league. Well, the Eagles are going to score a lot of points with it. So it's not a defensive snooze fest. But two, like you said, what happened to first down, second down, third down? Like there's
There's a lot of
so
other
much in
downs.
between that we could
Yeah.
get done. So I just think complaining about it, you could say you don't like it, and that's fine.
Sure.
But to say we need to outlaw it and this and that,
Yeah,
like,
to say it's like an abomination to the
that's just
NFL, like
so
what
bad.
about like the probably 50 guys that are in the NFL that have punched their girlfriend? What about those? Huh?
Yeah.
Like abomination. We're letting guys like out. We're letting guys play with warrants out for arrests. Like, come on now. What are we really talking about here? You know,
Yeah, I just
we got
I
Deshaun
just think
Watson
it's
playing
stupid.
football for crying out loud, huh?
You know what? Speaking about football, we can kind of jump into. I saw a big thing on social media was that Colin Kaepernick wants back into the league.
Yep.
And you have all the right to say that you want back into the league. I did not know you could just send a
I want
letter
into
saying
yeah.
I want to play because I'd love to play. Let me just send a letter to the Jets and
Like
say
what do I do?
in
Can I
June.
send a letter to like I don't know. I'll send a letter to Madeline Klein like, "Hey, you want a date? Like I'm open to it.
Hey,
I'm down if you're down."
there
Like
you go.
you
Leave
don't
you
just
done.
get to
You could
yeah,
just
here you
you send
go.
a letter. Here you go. Like here's
I
my
don't think that's
resume.
how it
I don't know.
works.
Yeah, I don't think that's how it works. But I've been hearing the chatter about Kaepernick for probably since we were in high school. You know, just hearing about how
Mhm.
Kaepernick was the best. Kaepernick was this. Let me just pull up this guy's stats so people
Here we
can
go.
stop chirping about this. Let's stop talking about what his legacy is, I guess, and just talk about the player. So these are his stats from ESPN. This is just the regular season talking about it, so we don't have to think about anything different because he played more times in the regular season than he did the postseason. He had one great postseason run.
Great run.
That was it. It was a
No
great
one's
run.
denying that.
No, but to sit here, so this is him in 2011. Not doing great, but we didn't start. I get it.
Yeah.
2012 went on a great season. Wonderful. 62% completion percentage, almost 2,000 yards passing,
Yeah,
10
not
tubs
bad.
to 3 interceptions. I mean, it's good, but it's not like
Okay.
crazy. We're taking
It's
care of the
yeah.
ball. We're doing what we need to do. And he's running the ball pretty efficiently, 415 yards, 6.6 yards per carry, 5 tubs on the ground.
Yeah.
7 fumbles.
Yeah.
That's
Definitely
tough.
not
It's
great,
not great. So 5 tubs, 7 fumbles.
but
Got to keep that in account. Then you just kind of look down here for the 16 games that he played here. We got the 3,000, that's great stuff. These are when he was in his prime, 2012, 2014.
Yep.
No one's denying that.
Nope.
Then we look 2014 to the 2015.
The 2015 is
2016.
when it gets because obviously we kind of hit a downhill spiral there.
Yeah. If I recall, he was the backup to Nate Mullins at one point.
I think, and maybe someone got hurt, and that's why he played. It was
Was
a
it CJ
while ago.
Beathard too, I think?
I think that was a little later, maybe, but
Okay.
I do know that last season.
Yeah.
Or maybe the season before, he was third string at one point. He was
Yeah.
third coming out of training camp.
So I mean, this was back in 2016, and I'm looking at it, 16-4, that's great. The year before, 6-5, like
Yeah,
6 tubs to 5 interceptions just won't
average.
quite get it done. And I'm looking at, I mean, I know people don't love QBR. I'm just looking at his rating, 56,
kinda-
56, 52, 52. Like,
Yeah,
that's
and
not
I'll
really gonna do
say,
it for me.
even if you look at the stats and say, hey, like he's all right, 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Like the last time he played ball was in 2016. We're getting on 8 years now without starting in the NFL. You don't just like come back in and you're like, oh, I'm good now. Like even if it was someone like Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, like if Tom Brady came back right now, he probably wouldn't be playing that well, and he hasn't played for
Like
not
half a
even
year.
a year. Like he
Yeah.
just stopped. Like it's hard. So to come back after playing nowhere, playing nothing, like
Yeah.
dude, like stop it.
It's
All right,
just
it's getting annoying. It's every time there's like an injury, it's like, well, I'm always here
yeah,
ready. It's like, okay, dude, whatever you say. Like, why don't you then go play like CFL
AFL,
or
CFL, yeah.
USFL or XFL just to like play and then maybe have a like, oh hey guys, I've been doing all right, but that's beneath him at this point. So, which is
Yeah, and I
fine,
mean,
dude. Do your thing. You did a lot. You did your
yeah, you had a great run.
you did your social justice stuff. You're still
Yep.
doing it. Like I'm not gonna sit here and be hating. All right,
No,
I'm not the
do what
biggest
you gotta do,
hater in the
man.
world, but when it comes to football, you ain't been playing ball.
No.
Go home, okay? Like,
Yeah, I'm sure, because I mean, I've heard the chirps as far as, and I understand it with, Zach Wilson, and I did watch the tape. First of all, for anybody out there who, when they do the QB combine and they talk about, hand size, and people say, why does it matter about having a large hand? Well, when you get into inclement weather, when it starts to rain a lot and you got to grip that football, Zach Wilson is why they check your hand size to see if you have a big hand to play in these areas like New York, Philly, just the East Coast, to make sure that you can hold on to that ball. There were a couple of plays where I think he had a turnover on one of them, if I recall. He goes to throw the ball and it slips out of his hands.
yeah.
So I agree. The Jets, I think the Jets are going to trade for quarterback. I specifically thought that they were going to try to get Matt Stafford. I thought that they were going
I
to take
could
an
see it.
effort for
I've been
him.
hearing the Kirk Cousins hype train has been kind of rolling a little now that they're 0-3.
Kirk
Could
a
see
little
that.
bit. I could see that happening.
But maybe they
yeah,
won't. I don't know. If Rodgers speed bridge or whatever that Achilles thing's called, like if that gets locked in, maybe he's back by week 16. You never know.
I mean, apparently he listens to dolphin mating noises.
Yeah,
and that helps his
we don't
leg.
even need to get into that. That's a whole nother. We could talk 3 hours about what that guy's up to. That guy's a freak.
Oh man, I'm trying to. What else do we got to go through? I think we've covered quite a lot today.
We've covered most for ball. I think we can get into more NFL stuff, like a recap of the weekend next week when we
Mhm.
kind of have a top 10 rankings kind of more solidified. Just in case that people didn't really catch it. I'm a Eagles fan, obvious Rams fan over there. I don't know which way my thing is pointing.
Yeah.
Over there. Yeah, so couple, recent Super Bowls. Teams are looking okay. Rams are hoping to get cut back. Eagles are kind of
Yeah.
been playing okay, but they're good enough to play okay and win. So we don't have to dive too much into NFL, but we could close up with we like talking gaming.
We do. We do
We
love
we
talking
can we can
gaming.
close up with kind of what we've been playing recently or what we're looking forward to playing. Just kind of close it up. We spent a lot on football, but for any of you folks that are into gaming, we game a lot,
Oh yeah.
live stream a lot, play a lot of stuff. I might live stream. When this goes out, I might be live streaming. Who
Could be.
knows? Could be.
Could be.
And obviously, we'll drop all links in the description of Twitch channels, YouTube channels, Twitter handles, all the things that you need to locate us and tune in whenever we're not doing something kind of set and scheduled like this, whether we just hop on and load up the stream, play some football, play some Call of Duty. So yeah, let's load this up. We got
Yeah.
these are kind of upcoming games and
One
games
current
that
one
are one
actually.
current one. So
Yeah.
Starfield is current. I have been playing a lot of Starfield.
How do
I'm
you like it? What are we looking
I
at?
enjoy it. I can't even give it a rating. Like
Okay.
it's one of those games where if you're into massive open world, you can do whatever you want. Any side quest, it's going to be for you. If you need a little more straighter path, like hey, I just want to have a nice story and kind of I know the mission layout. I kind of go from point A, point B, boom. Then it might not be for you. It might be a little overwhelming. I don't mind. It's a game where I can kind of just sit back and me and you were even on Discord
Yeah.
the other night, and I literally did a side quest for 2 hours straight. He was
Yeah, you
listening to
did.
me rage for about an hour because I kept dying, and I progressed to 0 of the main story. And I just did a side quest, and I got some nice legendary chests, legendary guns, and I was like, all right, that was a fun time. So if you're into stuff like that, these are Starfield's from Bethesda. So if anyone out there has played Fallout, um, what else have they done? Skyrim, big
Skyrim, yeah.
they were Skyrim. If you like those type of games, Starfield might be for you. It's kind of like a Skyrim just in space. Pretty fun so far. I've enjoyed it. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been playing the most of.
It seems like a good game. I'm like Zach was saying, I've kind of hopped in the cord and listened to what he's doing, and I'm telling you, you are going to want to tune into his streams because it's a great game to watch. It's very, I would say, visually pleasing to the
Yeah.
audience to kind of look at. But I mean, this guy's always raging, doing some stuff, so you'll get some good laughs too. I mean,
Just always dying
just
somehow in a stupid
yeah,
way. Getting chased by
just
monsters, getting shot at by some space pirates, like you
hey,
name it,
it
it's happened.
happens.
That's the war. That's Starfield, baby. Hey, what are you gonna do?
I will say I'm very excited that X Defiant, that
Mhm.
game right up there, has said that they're launching. I think it's essentially, I'd call it a second beta. That's what I would
It's a
call it.
public session, and it is on the 28th. So when we're recording this, it's tomorrow.
Hmm.
But it's only I don't even know how much I'll be able to play it because it's from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific time. They're just
Oh, that's
doing
okay.
it's PC only. So in your lunch break, get in there or fresh off
Might
work.
have to.
Like I'm normally out coaching and stuff, so I'm hoping to catch maybe the tail end of it or like the beginning of
Yeah,
it. But
might have to stream it.
I know they're doing like a public kind of test. Send your feedback in for PC only. I saw a thing where did they say October 1st it's dropping? Like
I think they said October 1st. I
right,
believe
so
so.
that's like literally right around the corner. So
Yeah, I'm
we might
super
be
hyped
getting
for
this
this
game.
game.
Yeah, I'm
Give me
in.
some competitive, give me some rank play, and
Me and
let's.
you are always down for shooters. That's kind of what we were brought up on, playing Call of
Yeah,
Duty all the way back in the day. So we played the beta a lot, every day,
yeah.
streaming it for like 6, 7 hours, like really
Put in
grinding.
some work.
So I liked it. if I think they might get hindered a little because the release is like they need to get this thing out ASAP because they need
need to
it
get
to
it out
have a
before Call of
nice
Duty.
month before Call of Duty comes out, and if they can get big, they can maybe ride out the wave a little bit. I was hoping they'd be a more end of the summer that you could kind of
Mhm.
play it when all the other shooters are dying down and there's a new one out there, but
Didn't
I
happen.
get it. They want to release a good product for everybody.
And, that's a good segue to jump into Modern Warfare 3. I mean, I don't think it's no secret we do not have high hopes for this game.
No,
Like
I
none
have
whatsoever.
zero hopes. I don't
I've
care. I played
yeah.
MW2, this most recent one. Game sucked.
It
Not
it
fun.
got me into wanting to have some Zins. So that should just let you know
It was,
what
and
the game
normally
did.
we can just kind of grind out. Like we normally had a solid group of 4
Yeah.
to 5 people that would play all the time. We just started dwindling this year.
The numbers started dropping a
It
lot.
was bad. At the end of the day, it was just us two out there just
Trying our
fighting for our
best.
lives, man. Just cheaters everywhere. It was just, ooh, it
Man,
was a
it was.
rough game competitively.
I will say though, for MW3, seeing that off the launch they're gonna have, the old school MW2 maps that we grew up on. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool nostalgia
could be fun.
factor.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah, that could be nice.
But I mean, I don't know about you. I'm kind of callous to know that I'm gonna buy it and be like, it's gonna be
I
shit.
know it's
Like I
probably
don't
gonna
want
be.
it to be shit.
I'm gonna buy it. You got
I'm gonna
me.
do it. Yeah.
You got me, Activision. Okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
gonna
sold.
play. Just because I'm gonna be following along with competitive and all that stuff, I gotta be involved in the
Gotta be
mix.
locked.
But man, I am expecting a 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
And
If I get a 4, I'll be happy.
if I enjoy it, then I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. Slide canceling back, maybe we'll see. Should be a little faster movement. That would be nice, but I have low expectations. Kind of what I have been, and I didn't think it could get.
Any
Vanguard
worse.
wasn't great, but
I'd
I
take
would have.
Vanguard again.
I'll take Vanguard in a heartbeat. At least I can move around and feel good about myself.
Man, if you just get rid of the bloom on the MP5, that game was pretty decent. Or MP40, my bad.
Yeah.
It moved like an MP5. But if you just get rid of that bloom
They
factor,
had
the game's a lot
bloom,
better,
man. What are
man.
we
That was just so
doing?
stupid.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Bloom? What is this? Fortnite? Huh? Fortnite Battle Royale? I stopped playing that game in freshman year of college. Stopped playing that in 2018. That's what we're doing? We're adding bloom?
Man,
Get me out of here.
it's a tough time.
It's so tough.
Just,
Oh man.
man, I think we covered everything.
I think we
we've
did.
given the viewers a good little taste of what Stoogery's about.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wrong button. Well, hey, that's
Well,
Stoogery for you.
hey, jeez. Well, let's not break the whole stream, break the whole recording down.
Man, I
I know
just
it's our
said,
first time, but we're trying our best here. Yeah, so everyone, if you watch all the way to the end, it's like 2 hours. Hey, more power to you. Good for you. We're gonna be trying to get these episodes out. We're looking at like a once a week, but maybe it can turn into like we have a beginning of the week where we kind of recap the weekend, and then we do a maybe later the week where we kind of preview the weekend, whether it's games or Call of Duty tournaments, Halo World Championships are coming up, or new movies coming out. Did you go see it? What movies are coming out later in the week? Stuff like that. So we might end up getting up to 2. It's not like
Good.
we got shit going on, right? Like we're
Ain't
just
got shit to
vibing.
do.
We
Ain't
ain't
got shit
got
to
nothing
do.
else to do. Just talk. That's what we
All right,
do.
well, man.
All
Well,
right, so
right.
we'll yeah, you want to outro us? I don't even know what's an outro.
Might
How
as
do you do
well.
that?
I mean, hey, we'll just give it a shot. All right, thanks everybody for checking out the Stooge experience. We hope you had a nice little 2 hours with us, kind of like we said, getting into that Stooge mindset. Let your brain chill, have a
Just
beverage
let it
with
turn
pop,
off.
and tune in next week to hear some more Stoogery. And like, subscribe, comment, and let us know what you thought. We will see you next week.
See ya.
Bye bye.